If you've never heard of Joe Derosa before, let me introduce you to a man of many talents, whether it be comedy, acting and directing, or making a good sandwich. No, this isn't Jared from Subway, though Joe bears a resemblance to him. But Joe has served a life sentence as a stand-up comic for 19 years and counting. He's not one for outright controversy that has plagued many of his peers in comedy. There are many stories about Joe that are intriguing, and his storytelling ability draws you into his world. Step inside the mind of a man who has dealt with crippling anxiety and being a longtime friend of Bill Burr. Let's get started with an appetizer of Joe describing his job to you.
My friend used to do porn. Now she does stand-up, because apparently the only job lower than porn is stand-up comedy. These are the 3 jobs you'll have bottoming out in life. These are the last 3 jobs you'll ever have. Real estate, porn, stand-up comedy. Those are the last 3. Nobody picks real estate first. Nobody's 8 years old going, one day I'll show apartments in Thai Town. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody's got a friend that's like, dude, I'm getting into real estate. You're like, shit, I didn't know your life was that fucked up. I'm sorry, man. You need some money? Anyway, she used to do porn, and she was very popular in porn, and she knows that I do this joke, and she likes it, but it's a true story, so I'm not talking out of school here. She posted on Twitter one day, she tweeted out, she goes, hey guys, do me a favor. When you meet me, don't tell me that you like to masturbate to me. It's fucking weird. Is it? You made porn. What did you think? That's their way of saying, good job. You made a fine product. 5 stars. If you made jewelry, yeah, then that would be weird. I love your charm bracelets. I can't stop jacking off. Thank you, sir. Please get out of my Etsy group. I'll tell you what's weird, porn stars. If a guy comes up to you and goes, hey, seen every one of your movies. Never jerked off once.
In 2006, Howard Stern made history with a contract worth $500 million for his show to be on Sirius satellite radio. Not only did they pick up Stern, but they picked up a show called Uninformed with Bill Burr and Joe Derosa airing on Saturday nights. It lasted until 2009. Here's a clip from that show talking about hookup stories.
It's
be
impossible.
sitting in a coffee shop next to a girl.
You need
reading.
it to get your courage up, and she needs it so she won't feel like a whore.
Gonna go up to some girl at Starbucks. Hey, I got coffee.
Well, you know what,
at my
Joe?
house.
That is the ultimate level.
That's the game.
If you can actually do it. So, have any of you guys ever like seriously just like seduced a girl, like just swept her off her feet?
Yeah, like a couple times, but it's great when it
What
happens.
did you do that just swept a girl off her feet, Joe?
Why do you say it like that?
Because I just don't find you charming. I just don't picture any woman picturing you riding
Bill,
on a white horse.
Yeah, Bill, you smooth operator, you.
I've never done it.
You have too. You absolutely have. There was one time in your life.
I have never been complete. First of all, every girlfriend I've ever gotten, I've gotten when I've been hammered. It's either been that, or they saw me in like perform in an acting class. I had a tap dance or something. I have never just walked up to somebody.
You told me the story of how your current girlfriend, of how you executed the first hookup with her, and it was very smooth. It was
smooth. It was definitely smooth.
Well,
but no. I'm saying like swept a girl off her feet, like a period piece, Joe. The old fucking days, the way they used to do it. You know, you throw a couple pebbles at her window and you read her poetry.
One time, this girl that I dated in college, who became my girlfriend for a little while, the first time she came to my apartment, like our first date, because in college that's a date. We were on the couch, and I was in a play with her, and I was really funny in the play because I had like the funny part or whatever, and I had really been charming her for a long time. So when we finally got to my house, we were on the couch making out, and she stopped. and she was like this. She was like smiling and like
creepy.
Her shoulder, and I was like, "What?" I go, "What are you doing?" And she goes, "I'm swooning."
Is there anything fucking worse than that?
Well, but
just any sort of like emotion, either complete lack of it or too much of it, and I just want to leave the room.
I liked it when she said it. It was nice.
Oh, that girl I was telling you about that one time. I was trying to have phone sex with this girl. I'm like, "What are you doing? You laying in your bed?" She's like, "Yeah." I was just like, I literally just put the phone down on my lap, like, oh God.
I was having phone sex with a girl once, and I go,
"Yeah."
She goes, "What do you want to do to me?" And I go, "You want it in your ass? You want me to put it in your ass?" And she goes, "Well, do you want the honest answer or the phone sex answer?" I was like, "Can you just say yes, stupid? You're across the country. It's never gonna fucking happen." Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it for me. Don't tell me.
I didn't. We were discussing a movie, and Joe Derosa actually had to run out because he didn't want the movie spoiled for him.
Well, I didn't want to know the end. I want to know the whole movie, and then I'll see it still. It's visual movies. What do you want to go through the
What
journey?
are you talking about?
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah. Remember all the work Hitchcock did to create suspense?
Fuck him.
It's called dramatic tension.
And Hitchcock's movies.
Yeah, really. How is someone
Hitchcock?
How is someone going to spoil a Hitchcock movie for you?
The birds stink. Alfred Hitchcock movies do not hold up. They make me sick.
Patrice, would you stop it?
You don't like Hitchcock movies?
Man, who does? Name one that's good that you still go,
Psycho,
wow.
Strangers on a Train,
Rope. You're just a romantic sissy.
Fucking
you run out on spoilers. That doesn't count.
By Northwest. Is that a Hitchcock
Vertigo.
movie?
We know them all, asshole.
Do you?
And
have you seen any of them?
Dude,
or did you see half of one and make a full judgment on all Hitchcock?
I saw North by Northwest. That movie went on for fucking ever.
Oh,
it's a great flick, though.
Movie.
It's a great flick, though.
Halloween's better.
Why? Because the scary stuff happened during the day.
You know what? Because Joe thinks he's an intellectual.
Right,
so anything intellectual that stimulates Joe. Yeah, he doesn't like Jaws. I don't like the whole.
No, I do like Jaws.
With Jaws. Shut the fuck up, Joe.
Star Wars is one of my favorite movies. That's not intellectual.
There's no suspense to that, motherfucker. You like shit that makes you think like you're a thinker. Alfred Hitchcock's movies did nothing. So a cocksucker. You know what he did? It was horror movies before you was allowed to have them. The psycho stab sucks. Watching the knife not hit her.
Patrice, you don't know what you're talking about right now.
I watched the movie. I can have an opinion. You see when the guy fell down the stairs in Psycho? The dumbest look. He makes me sick.
Yeah, what was that? He's
exactly.
It's just kind of
fucking.
And the Beatles suck because they weren't able to do what people can do now.
I enjoy the Beatles.
I mean, this is the you're making.
Hitchcock didn't use any CGI. He sucked.
It's what I'm saying. Like it's like. This argument, you're arguing against the guy that broke down fucking open doors for future filmmakers. He was doing shit that's never been done.
Who did he break down doors for?
Oh, Jesus.
Exactly.
For everybody.
I'm not gonna. Don't force me to like him if I don't want him.
I'm not, but you can't say it's before you had horror movies. It's not.
I don't like his profile. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like his little
profile. You have the same.
Were you in Scary Movie 4?
They cut it out.
Good. Somebody saying it occurred in Detroit. Wait, the guy who was in Scary Movie 4 is saying Hitchcock movies stink.
Maybe you're.
This is my thing. This is people think that's the problem. Everybody got to compare everybody else. I can't say another fat person's fat because I'm fat. Yeah. I got eyes, motherfucker. I could be in shit stain too, and that doesn't mean I like the birds. Eat ass. Eat ass. Compare yourself to other people, you fuckface. Dick. Oh, just because I was in some loser shit, you're not a loser? Shut up. Misery loves company, you fucking idiot. I fucking don't like the birds.
Anthony, are getting good reviews already?
Not reviews, but they did the London premiere or whatever.
Yeah.
Standing ovation, and two people had two different. One was like it's going to get an Oscar. The other one did a 2-page review about how amazing the movie is. And I think it's for sissies, just like Titanic. Another movie I can't understand.
I liked the.
I don't understand where the $1 billion comes from, as opposed to The Dark Knight. how does that make $1 billion in The Dark Knight? Like, I don't get it. I don't get that movie.
Because they brought the broads in.
The chicks came in for the love story.
And
the
we brought
guys
in
were there for the
action.
Let me see the fucking
Yeah.
CGI.
What action was in it?
The ship sinking.
The ship sinking was
that
like a
ship sank
45
for an
minute scene.
hour, dude.
Bouncing off of the fucking smokestack.
What the fuck? What were you watching?
I know that fucking beautiful pinball
Oh, it was
scene
great.
where the people fall down and
That
bouncing
ship
off the thing.
sinking is fucking.
That is pretty amazing.
At least at the time, especially, was a great depiction of the Titanic sinking.
No, it stinks because it was before they could do effects like that, so it
now
sucks.
The CGI is so much better.
First of all, don't try to fucking join forces with Anthony.
Yeah, that's right, exactly
Barely
what I'm
liked the
doing.
movie. Barely. You liked it for the love scenes.
Hey,
sissy.
Anthony.
You
you like the love
Anthony.
scenes?
Joe the faggot.
Hey, Anthony, you never saw Empire Strikes Back? Darth Vader's Luke's dad. You fucking faggot. Still enjoy it, you fucking queer.
You
Yeah,
ruined it for me.
He's
Who
just
likes
upset because he's
spoilers?
sensitive.
Did you cry when DiCaprio went under?
Yep.
Huh?
Yes.
You
he
just
did,
said
right?
you liked the
did.
movie.
Yeah, he did.
He
Come
did.
on.
Yeah, but
did.
we're saying you loved it for the love scene.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
loved it for
A little tear
Oh,
when
it-
DiCaprio went
it had
under.
a lot of beautiful
What
parts.
about the fucking... Hold on, Joe.
Pillow biter. He just.
I would like any one of you to embrace me while I
What
watch
about-
DiCaprio slide off of that fucking boat.
No, I'll bring up something. What about the fact that Clooney falls in love with a girl that's married?
Fucking dickhead. Is that the spoiler? You're a fucking asshole. You're a fucking asshole.
You left the studio.
Fuck face.
Stupid.
Now he's hurt. Now you can't see the movie. It spoiled it for you. Ass what?
Well, goddamn, it's the big reveal and spoiled
Let me
it.
explain what happened. And,
No,
and
don't.
let me explain how stupid you are as a human being.
Why is
In the
everybody
same
turned
breath.
on me? Because
I'll tell
everybody
you
at the end
why.
of this shit.
Because Patrice asked me about this up in the air because it's getting good reviews. And I go, let me tell you about this fucking movie. Joe goes, I don't want to hear a spoiler. I go, leave the studio.
Yeah.
That was your mistake.
Yeah.
What do
What?
you think we're going to be real friends to you?
Like
That is real
No,
fun.
Opie,
Joe.
thank you.
No,
This
Patrice,
idiot
hold on.
left, and we
hold
still
on,
told
hold
him.
on, hold on. Let me finish my point. What you should have done, go, oh my God, they're going to fucking spoil this movie for me. Make believe you don't care. Make believe you had to go to the bathroom or something.
All
So you
right.
just said, he knew we were going to get you eventually.
I apologize that I had faith and trusted you as a person.
Apologize.
I'm a fucking asshole for that.
Apologize for being a smarmy asshole who
That's
don't know how to be like dick funny.
I laughed when he told the ending. I thought it was funny. I'm not
I've been
angry.
telling you the whole movie. I wasn't lying. He just fucking encapsulated, stupid asshole. He thought he was going to come back and we was going to go, we finished. Sit down, Joe, and enjoy yourself.
I wanted to see the movie.
You fucking dummy.
I wanted to see the movie. I didn't want to hear the ending. I don't think that's ridiculous.
I love when smart Joe is dumb.
Definition of a
Joe's
stick pin.
sensitive, and I didn't realize that till
I'm not
today.
sensitive.
Yeah.
I'm
I
laughing.
didn't realize he was. Look at him. He's explaining. No, I'm with it. I'm with the stuff. Joe's a sensitive guy. I didn't realize this fucking shit.
Look,
You're right, Joe.
I like.
Yeah, he didn't like the spoiler. You fucked up in the air.
I don't
for
like
him.
what you guys said about the end of Titanic. I enjoy that scene very much.
That scene makes him cry.
It
And you know what that
touches me.
scene makes him do? Like
which
a
end
typical
scene,
sissy. He loves his woman more. When he sees what that guy did and that love, that makes him love his woman more than he did. It's a guideline.
I admit 100% I cry at movies frequently.
Which end scene, though? Because there was the end where
When he drifts off
when
into
he
the
dies.
waters. Yeah, when he dies.
Where the old bag dies and goes back into the fucking ship and everything's hunky-dory
Yeah,
and they're
'cause
all
that's heaven.
fucking...
The part
What's the
that
use of
really
both
makes me
of us
cry
dying?
is when the old lady at the end opens her legs and they find the ship inside inside her clam.
Would you die for your wife?
Die for my wife.
I mean, and wait. Here's the scenario though. The context is not that a guy comes and tries to rob you and you step in front of her and take a bullet. The idea is it's freezing in the water. Both of you could live, but you just choose to. She's gonna live and you're gonna fucking die.
But it's not supposed to be they both could live. It's supposed to be they both
are
could
you gonna just
fit.
die?
Why are you trying to knock down my happiness and everyone else's happiness?
Ready?
Go
Because
fuck
that's
yourself.
what he does.
How about-
Thank you.
How about with Joe? Go fuck
Thank
yourself.
you, Opie.
Don't
Thank
try
you.
to-
I don't mind being fucking happy.
No, you
Not
just
like
shit
down
on
my fucking
everybody.
happiness.
First of all, you can
'Cause
try
you
that
got
technique
fucking
anyway.
issues?
You try that technique to fucking spray paint your way over that question. Would you die for your wife? It's a yes or a no.
I'm fucking not answering that.
There you go.
You and your
That's what
stupid-
the bullshit is. Would
you
you
and your-
die? Would you
you and
die
your-
for your girlfriend that you
and
love,
your
Anthony?
stupid fucking
I
insecurity
don't,
and
Would you
lack
die?
of self-worth.
Ready?
Exactly.
Ready? Would you die?
Exactly.
Would you die for your girlfriend that you loved?
No.
There you go. That's a good question.
Well,
Would
there
you
you go.
die for your fucking girlfriend?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's
That's a
wrong with
spoiler.
that?
Now-
I didn't say nothing was wrong with it. I just asked the question,
Now,
and you
Patrice,
called me insecure.
let me just-
Would you die for your wife?
You're trying to
just
ruin
fix
everyone's
this.
happiness
No,
around you.
All you had to do was say yes, and then it would have been fine.
As you will see, Joe has an acrimonious relationship with Twitter. In 2011, Bill Burr wrote a short movie called Cheat. It was directed by Joe Derosa and had appearances by regular guests of the Opie and Anthony show. There was one special person that Joe didn't have in this movie, and here's what happened.
For Joe.
What?
Yo.
What's up, Joe?
It's the traitorous Joe Derosa.
Jesus, God Almighty, man! Everything was good in my life yesterday, and then I got 2,000 fucking tweets.
Oh, that's cool. That's good. That means you're popular.
Congratulations. You're popular on Twitter.
Congrats, man.
Yeah.
These aren't, I wouldn't say that these are popular tweets.
Are they crossovers, like maybe from fans of maybe me or Danny or Jimmy Norton or someone like that?
I don't know. Would one of your fans say, "Go fuck a camel, you Egyptian camel fucker piece of shit"? Is that something like a follower of yours might say?
Yes,
actually, yes.
I could see that.
That means they
happening.
love you. You
Yeah.
just don't know the translation yet.
I thought I could read you guys some of the best tweets that I got.
Oh, cool.
Some of the tweets from our fine fans to you. I believe they were tagging it. Fuck Joe Derosa, by the way. Just
All
want
right.
to remind you that was going down, Joe.
Let's read off some of your favorites there, Joe.
Nice pick, you faggot. Your mouth looks like it's all blown out from taking uncut meat sticks. Why didn't you put little Jimmy in your movie? Hey, cancer arms. Why didn't you, Bill Burr, and Robert Kelly put Fancy Jim Norton in your 15-minute waste of film strip? I searched a dumpster at the clinic to find that abortion of a new movie that you won't put Jim Norton in.
I think they let you off easy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, really.
No, they get worse.
Oh, really?
Get AIDS, cunt. Fuck, hold on. Just scroll to these.
Holy shit.
There's all this shit in here about hats. Taking off your hat. I don't know what that means.
I'm going to tell you the truth. Joe, he's one of my better friends in this business, and I try to tell everybody how funny he is. I try to keep him on the phone or listen. I asked Colin if he wanted to do this, and he hung up just within seconds. But Joe really will listen to you. He's really a kind-hearted person deep down inside. And it's a pleasure. It really is a pleasure to know him.
Hi, Keith.
Hey,
Are you just annoyed? Are you annoyed already? Making me sick.
Go ahead, Keith. Keith Robinson, everyone.
Yeah, well,
by the way,
fact,
first time on
Give
our
me
show
this.
in 4 years.
The fact that you're talking to Joe about great comics makes me want to throw up. Ask Joe about how it is driving Bill Burr around. That's what you need to know. Oh, well, Carlin, you see, you make me. That is the worst conversation I've ever seen.
You're getting annoyed by it?
Oh, it was infuriating. I was punching the air. I was so angry. And Joe, and how you let him skip over Richard Pryor, because Joe does not like Richard Pryor.
No, that's not true. You've been hanging
Shut
out
up
over
with your
my head for 5
high-pitched
years.
voice.
You've been hanging out over my head for 5 years. I like Pryor just fine.
Name one of his bits, stupid. One of them.
Mudbone.
Oh, what? That's the one. I'm a windmill kick him right out the chair. But
all right, go with two.
My father died in your pussy. I know that fucking bit. I'd be in that long, motherfucker, Jack. I know all the fucking Pryor bits, dude. Was it something I said? I have that.
He's shaking.
It's crazy.
You can say it.
I have Live on the Sunset Strip. I have Here and Now. I have Live and Smoking.
Well, either way, we want you to stop. You want to talk? Let's talk great comedy.
I want you
but
to
not
stop
with
wearing
you,
those
stupid.
sweatshirts.
Not with Joe Derosa.
Why
Jesus
y'all
Christ. He has the body of a Somalian pirate. he stinks.
He's out of breath because he was running down that really long hall to give you a beating.
Oh, it just infuriated me. Listen to Jim sitting back like Bill Moyer going on.
I was trying to discuss it like a gentleman.
Yeah,
trying to be a true gentleman.
Well, Joe, I see that you in alternative rooms and Bill Hicks.
But in alternative, the thing is, the point is, in alternative room, at times they'll give you a little bit more time. Like sometimes, a club audience can be fucking like you are trying to get to something, or you're doing something that's like a little bit paced, and they get impatient.
Alternative comics stink.
A lot of them.
No, not a lot of them. All of them. They stink. But anybody that puts themselves on an alternative has to stink.
But it depends on what you call alternative. Like a guy like Hicks. No, but Hicks was to be.
Hicks an alternative.
He wasn't no damn alternative comic.
But compared to what that was at the time,
he wasn't. How?
He might be.
He didn't call himself an alternative comic. He was out there doing what he was doing.
It was just a comic.
It was a comic.
That was when no one labeled their comedy.
Yeah.
They just went up and did their thing.
Well,
right?
I still don't think they should label it, but I understand what Joe is saying.
You know why they label it? Because they stink. You have to have an excuse for not being funny. And that's what it is.
But that's not true. A lot of those guys are really funny.
Who?
Oh, for Christ. Really? We got to get into this
Well,
game
then,
now?
if you're not going to get into it, shut up.
Patton Oswalt's a great example. He's hilarious.
Oh, shut up.
And he's
Jesus
one of those
Christ.
guys.
Patton Oswalt stopped being funny in 88.
Oh.
I know everybody's quiet, but I said it.
Shut up, Keith.
Take it.
Right.
But
the funny guys were the funny guys.
But the argument,
back of the bus guy.
Be fair, Keith. Nobody argued that point. You got all hot when I said that doing those rooms in addition to the clubs has made me a better comic, and you said that was bullshit.
One would debate that.
You said that was bullshit. That's I mean, that's a ridiculous thing to combat. I'm saying
listen what I'm saying to you.
And it's helping.
But you're saying alternative comedy rooms, just doing different rooms made you funnier, stupid. Not the room itself, not the alternative comedy room, different rooms.
Fine. The rooms where that type of show is happening help me out. I mean,
I've been funny all my life. You think I'm gonna allow you to come here with your awful body and tell me about funny?
Why are you getting so mad?
Because, Joe, I've been a thug nigga since I was a rug nigga. Back of the bus nigga, hand on the trigger. But I didn't shoot from the hips. I threw from the shoulder until I got older.
See,
you feel that right? Oh, that was beautiful.
I was angry. But I like the way you danced around with that. It put a cute smile on my face.
Although I gotta say, in Keith's defense, that it's not even. It's like back of the bus guys is a great description, not in a tough guy way, but just in the fucking guys that were just kind of being assholes, sitting in the back, fucking teasing everybody else. Those are typically, and the guys that run comedy or in the decision making are the guys
front
that,
of the bus guys,
the nerds that kind of sat in the front.
Nerds.
But Jim, in all fairness, and I know you're a fan of the man, Woody Allen is certainly not a back of the bus personality, and he's hilarious.
But Woody Allen's thing is, Woody Allen is just nothing but fucking and he's one of the greatest jokes to me is like what an alternative comic is, like, because he was so alternative to what everybody was back then. It was like, take my wife, please, look at that, the kitchen. And then Woody came up and I'm Jewish and he was nebbishy and no one was doing it.
But he was an alternative comedy.
Yeah, he didn't label it.
Stop putting, I don't put Woody Allen in the category of alternative comedy.
This is where you're wrong, though. This is where you're wrong. I have a book because I have a book called Seriously Funny: The Rebel Comedians of the 50s and 60s, and they talk specifically in that book about how Woody Allen, Mort Saul, Don Rickles, Phyllis Diller, and fucking so on were the alternative comics of the era because they started to play the rooms instead of the Catskills because they thought the Catskills stunk.
They never called themselves alternative comics.
Well, just because they used the word.
Well, why you use a word then?
Because that's what it's called now. Who gives a shit?
Well, see, all right.
What's changed is this.
I give a shit because I'm a comic.
It's morphed into where
it's
morphed into where a lot of people. But it's like you're getting caught up in the term alternative. It's morphed into where a lot of unfunny people hide under the moniker of I'm an alternative comic.
This goddamn Joe Derosa making me fucking work overtime. Let me tell you how selfish that son of a bitch is. It's unbelievable. Oh my God, I forgot to tell this story on Opie and Anthony today. I crashed at DeRosa's apartment Sunday night, right? So I'm sleeping on the couch, because I'm fucking down to earth. Sleeping on the couch in a thermal underneath my winter jacket because that's how I do it. That's how I do it. I don't give a fuck. All right, so he goes and he sleeps in the bedroom, closes the door, and he turns on the air conditioning. I don't know why. I think it's because he's half Egyptian, and he's used to being, part of him is used to living on the equator, and it just, that doesn't make any sense. It's cold this time of year. Strike all that. I don't know what the fuck his deal is. He's got the fucking air conditioner on, so it's cranked. So I wake up early to go do Opie and Anthony, and evidently he didn't hear me get up, and he forgot that I was staying there. So I just opened the door, and he's got like this fucking ironing boards on the back of the door, so it all just sort of opened. It was loud. I opened it. And he forgot I was there. He thought I was like an axe murderer, and he completely freaked out. And all he did was he just started kicking his legs underneath the sheets. That was the funniest part. His upper body didn't move. His lower legs were moving like he was, like when you do the backstroke, how your legs move like up and down, up and down, up and down. He was doing that underneath the sheets with this what the fuck look on his face. I got to tell you something. I have not laughed that hard at 7:15 in the morning since back in the day when I would work the Comedy Cellar. Me and Bobby Kelly and Norton would stay up all night playing chess or whatever, and I would be coming home. Like, there's no fucking... I will never laugh that hard again without staying up all night long. It would almost like hurt my fucking insides.
We were discussing certain things during the break. It was kind of interesting. I won't say freakish or anything, or sick or anything.
I would.
Joe Derosa is looking for a certain type of girl, I guess.
I like older women. It's not a we've talked about it a lot on here, but older everybody's going at me.
No. How old are you?
35.
All right. An older woman for you would be
50.
38, 40-year-old woman is an older woman than you.
Technically older. That's not, you know what I mean? That's not
horrible.
I want to have sex.
Jim.
I fucking can't comprehend it.
How old of a woman? Now you
can't come without white shoes up in the air. Sorry.
How old of a woman is, like, if you could fantasize about any age woman, how old of a woman would you be looking for?
55, 60.
55 or 60-year-old woman.
But like a hot 55.
I wouldn't even be friends with one of them. I loved your show. Really? Fuck you.
But in this day and age, 55, 60 is a very different story from what it was 10 years ago.
Yes.
It's 10 years older.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They were fucking 45, 50. Now they're 55, 60. Gross to grosser.
Now, what is it? What is it about that? What attracts you to a woman of that age?
I don't know. I just like older women. I've always, ever since I was a very young kid, I always had the teacher fantasy, all that stuff.
That's fine, but
went on.
Just to suck their big, smelly lamb tits. Oh, yuck.
A lot of them have fake tits.
What?
A lot of them have fake tits, so their tits
the real ones have been.
You're telling me. You're telling me. You gotta tell me right now, you wouldn't fuck Raquel Welch or somebody like you wouldn't fuck her.
She's 70.
No,
I might just because it's her.
70.
You wouldn't have fucked her at 60. She was smoking.
She's a 1 in a million rarity.
But that's I'm saying that kind of vibe. I'm not saying I want to fuck some goddamn, if I was good with references or riffing, I could think of something right now.
To Rula Lenska?
Rula Lenska.
Yeah, I'm not saying I want to fuck B. Arthur. You know what I mean? Like, or like that. I'm saying like I want to fuck like a sexy older woman. It turns me on.
For me, an older woman, like if she's pushing 30, I'm like, you'll be lucky if I stick this in you. Fucking 55, I wouldn't even give them a ride home.
I date younger sometimes, but I can't. They annoy the fuck out of me after a while, and I can't do it.
You know what I want? A young chick, like 25, between 25 and 30, with a fucking giant meat pussy. That's all I want. A fucking, like the type of...
What about Charo? Would you fuck Charo?
Coochie.
No, I never. I don't think Charo was hot even when she was young. She never did.
I'd fuck her dead body.
She's dead?
You like Charo?
She's not dead. No, she's not dead. But I don't know. There's something. I don't know. Something sexy about her.
No, I wouldn't.
As old as she even is now, there's something sexy about her.
No. How about Jaja? Would you lift her remaining leg?
I don't know why. I don't know what it is.
There's no firmness. There's no elasticity or firmness in that body.
But these days, that's not true anymore.
No, it is. It's basic chemistry.
It's not true anymore.
Talking the moisture is fucking leaving their body like the salt-sucking monster on Star Trek.
Look up fucking. Of course, I'm drawing a goddamn blank right now.
When it comes to Joe Derosa, some people have a strong opinion of him. What follows is fights between him and others on the Opie and Anthony show. First, we get a little Dr. Steve, who is an actual doctor that loves weird medicine. Then we get Joe battling it out with hipster Opie and Anthony producer Troy Quan. Lastly, we finish with a clip of Derosa's date from hell with a lady named Kathy. Joe has a bit of a temper at times, and one could consider it fucking hilarious or downright toxic. I find it more of the former in these particular cases.
Well, Dr. Steve?
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
There seems to be a little bit of a problem between you and Joe Derosa.
And
Did you?
girl laugh Derosa.
Oh, shit.
You know what, Steve? Listen, first of all, I want you to shut your dumb prescription writing face.
Derosa angry.
Oh, shit.
Big Boy's got a podcast now. He thinks he's one of us.
Oh, shit.
Whoa. You know what bugs me about you, Steve?
What?
Is that, first of all, you're a doctor.
Yes, that's right. I know that, Buck.
And not a comic or anything like that.
Right.
That fucking bothers me, first of all, how somehow you fucking scabs infiltrate this world somehow. And secondly, you're on fucking Twitter going, all right, Joe, we get it, as if I'm the only one having the discussion, and you're picking on the fucking little bird in the room because you're too scared to fucking go at Jimmy or Anthony.
Why would I want to go at them? And look, it was just funny. If you said this problem is due to overpopulation at least 8 times in the space of
wow, shit.
It sounded like, listen, Joe, I like you. So,
do you, Steve? I'm so blessed. Steve likes me. Oh, thank you. Can I do your podcast someday?
Absolutely.
Why'd you come to work with a skateboard the other day? We all noticed.
Because I'm moving at the end of next month, so we're giving stuff away. I don't feel like carrying it with me, so we're giving stuff away on the after show.
That's all it is?
Yeah, we're giving away a skateboard, but
I thought he brought it in because he wanted to do some skating after
That's
work.
because he rides
during his lunch break.
He rides a longboard now. He was in here on Sunday with his longboard.
I saw it's all about the longboard now.
Yeah, I fucked up my foot skateboard, street skating, so now I have the longboard. But
Joe, what's the problem, Joe? You guys are probably.
It just sounded so old. I hurt my foot when I was skateboarding. I had to get a special board.
We're more or less out of this discussion because we are, a bit older than Troy, but you guys are probably around the same age.
We probably are. How old are you?
I'll be 35 next month.
Me too.
Yeah.
Someone said you're in denial.
25th?
You're 40.
The 6th. I'm the 6th.
The 6th of August?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you guys are about the same
I'm older
age.
than Troy.
You're about the same age, but you have a problem with Troy dressing so young.
I don't got a problem with it. It's just fun to make fun of.
I mean, yeah, you guys made a little fun of him before he was in the studio.
I got a problem.
You did too. Yeah, I know, but I'm not out of it.
Here's what I got. All right, Troy, do me a favor.
What's up?
Stand up on something.
Stand up
so we can get a full body shot of you right now.
Wow. Look at Joe control.
I have no problem. Can I go to that mic?
You certainly can. Oh, man. Joe is totally pointing out things now on Troy Quan, who is standing up on the couch so we can all see.
I got no problem with parts of this outfit.
Wait, no. Start from the head all the way down to the feet. Like, what about the hair?
I'm going to go up and down because I want to jump around.
Okay, fair enough.
Nothing wrong with this.
What?
The T-shirt.
Man's man V-neck. I like it.
A solid white.
I like it. Pants.
V-neck.
Pants are fine until they go there, and then they bother me because they get
chin
too tight and baggy. Now
they're tapered in.
What does that mean?
They're tight and baggy at the same time at the bottom, and it annoys me. Now,
what do I do? Get them altered?
No, what I want you to do is buy pants that fit. First of all. First of all,
my pants fit better than your pants.
You're not a painter, first of all, and you're wearing painter jeans right now, like you've been working. And also, you bought the jeans that have the already made holes in them, which fucking just irritates me.
Your jeans,
I was out working on the site today. No, you weren't. You were at fucking Diesel, and you bought jeans.
Your jeans look like they're about 3 or 4 seasons too old.
Get back up.
They do.
Get back up on that.
It's like,
but Joe's not trying.
I'm not trying. Look what I did.
You're right.
This is a white t-shirt and jeans.
Joe's got this.
Now listen.
I think Joe's got
Here's where I start. This is where
what are your shoes? What are those?
Oh,
what are they?
What's wrong with the shoes, Troy?
These
My
are
shoes, look
Adidas.
at it.
You got like old man shoes on,
Those
bro.
fucking Marty McFly shoes that you're wearing.
Bro, you're like two weeks older than me.
Back to the Future 2. He's
2
wearing the
weeks.
Back to the Future 2 shoes.
You're wearing old man shoes. There's a guy double your age wears those shoes.
These
What are
not
they?
old man. These are Blackstone fucking shoes.
They're
These things
what?
are the
What the
shit.
fuck is that?
These are the shit.
They're like
these
old
things.
man. It looks like you're going fucking golfing, bro.
What are you talking about?
Looks like you're going golfing. Those are old man fucking
what's wrong
shit.
with golfing?
Nothing.
Thank you. Thank you,
But
everybody.
you're 35 years old. You're gonna dress like a 65-year-old man?
These are you crazy?
Bro, get some fashionable jeans. Those shits are like
Damn.
fucking 4 years.
Understand? It's 5 o'clock in the morning
Yeah,
right
exactly.
now.
So what are you goofing on my
I'm
shit for?
fucking because you're dressed up like you're about to get packaged and sold in the toy store like a doll outfit
Because I
right now.
have diesel jeans on and a white t-shirt?
Listen, your hair has been bugging me for a long time.
Hey.
Oh, man. Oh,
It would, because you're thinning out. I could see why it'd be bothering you.
What's wrong with Troy's
To be
hair?
thinning out, bro. So I could see why that would get you angry. I got it.
What's wrong with Troy's hair?
Huh?
What's wrong?
It's just it
does
just,
bother a lot of
looks
us because he
like
has
it
a
should
lot
come
of
with a
hair.
hollow body guitar, and it fucking,
That.
oh.
I'll go with everything so far except the dress thing. I wasn't dressed too nice. I was dressed the way you dressed when you go out to take a girl out to a fucking restaurant for dinner. Okay.
Ooh,
She
wow.
was making.
That already sounds a little heated. Fucking, you throwing the word fucking in there.
She made up the first time we met on the not met on the but the first episode of the podcast where this all got established.
Yeah.
Whatever the first episode of this arc, she had said something about like that I didn't put any money or time into my outfit, like that I was wearing that day, and she really did this dismissive,
That's
like, what did you
petty.
spend on this? $50?
And was that on the date or was that on
No,
the
no,
recap?
it was on the setup episode for the
Okay.
date where we
setup
said we were
episode.
gonna.
Okay.
The episode where we said we are gonna go out.
All right. So she critiqued your clothes during that.
Yeah.
So you went on the date thinking,
I thought I'll show her that I know how to dress.
Right.
So I put on a sweater, some nice jeans, and some boots, and I wore a sport coat over the sweater.
Jesus. Right? sounds like a sport coat.
A blazer.
It
A
sounds
blazer.
like you're a professor at a Boston college.
A blazer.
A blazer.
All right, so that's what
All
I'm
right.
referring to.
Okay.
And she
Go out
kept
to a
saying I was
fucking
wearing a
restaurant.
suit, and I'm like, I wasn't wearing
Wasn't
a
a
suit.
suit.
It was dressed up. So anyway, that's what this
Right.
is. Around for dinner.
Okay. So did you
Yes.
get that? Makes sense.
Absolutely, Joe.
That was for you.
Yes. And there are many girls that like a nice sports coat. Like I'm a jeans
Casual.
and t-shirt. Yeah. I
Casual
like
sports
I
jacket.
don't like guys too dressed up. I like the one
Yeah.
I wore to the fucking date because I'm like a casual kind of gal.
Well, that's funny
I like
because
my
that's
guy.
not what you
I
said
don't-
the other day.
No, that's absolutely
No,
true.
it's not.
I don't like a guy wearing
You
a
said-
suit or a sports coat. I like a good pair of diesel jeans and a t-shirt.
And
That's
I
good to
quote,
go.
Bob, you were here, and I quote, a guy should pick up the entire check on a
What the
date
fuck does that have to
because
do with
I
the
spent
clothes,
because
Joe?
I'm going to tell you because it's your quote because I went out and spent $150 to get a nice outfit and some makeup so I could look great for him. That is what she said. She didn't fucking say I like to show up in jeans and a t-shirt. I like it casual.
Jeans and
If she
t-shirts
would have
cost
said
a lot
that,
of
I
money.
would have taken her to fucking Lucky Burger and not a sit down fucking $130 fucking meal.
Holy shit! Wow, and that's the first clip.
That's the beginning.
Holy shit!
I didn't say you had to do anything.
Yes, you
Kathy.
did.
No, I
When-
didn't.
when
No, I
you
didn't.
realized I
never- like big deal. I don't give a fuck what you spent. I'm a lady. I deserve this. And she actually said at one point, I go, what effort did you put into this besides just showing up?
Just
She
showing
goes,
up, yeah.
Yeah. She goes, I put effort in. I took a cab over here. She actually said that. So now we're talking about, she was giving me shit about like, really, you're going to be cheap and bitch about the bill, da, 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 da. And I'm saying, no, I'm not. But I go, the argument isn't you can't order what you want. The argument is I spent this money and then you brought absolutely nothing to the table to
Right.
deserve that.
Right.
So that's what this is right here. act whole on the date, and then deal with
talk about a vagina like that.
I was talking about her
Okay,
asshole.
but that's his story. But the way I see it, Joe, is that you could order what you want, but if you know, like halfway through you're not interested, like maybe like all bets are off. Like it's like just because things didn't go your way, and I didn't want to go back to your house. When you take a girl out on a date, it's like a fucking gamble, and you lost. You put money down, and like it didn't go your way, and that's the risk you take.
Black 17.
I don't have to do at the end of the day.
Do you
That's
see?
ridiculous.
I didn't say you had to do anything.
Yes, you
Kathy.
did.
No, I
When
didn't.
you realized I
never
wasn't going
said
back
that.
to your house, everything was
No, Kathy,
changed.
when you ripped the phone out of my hands and acted like a fucking asshole,
Okay,
and I
hang on,
said
hang on.
apologize, and
Hang
you
on,
wouldn't, that's when everything changed.
Joe.
Okay. She at one point she was being really shitty to me, so I texted Bobby and I wrote, hey dude, she's a real fucking asshole. And she goes, who you texting? And I went, texting Bobby. She goes, what are you writing? What are you writing about me? And I was like, none of your business. And she goes, let me see. I go, no. And she jumped over the table and physically ripped the phone out of my hand.
Holy shit.
So all you gotta do is go like that.
No, I actually, when we were on the podcast, I showed Bobby and Dan like how she did it. And when I showed them, they were like, Jesus Christ, seriously?
It's a little aggressive.
And I said to her, I go, if you were a guy and you just did that, we'd be fighting right now.
Yeah.
We'd be fighting. And she's like, I'm not a guy. Deal with it. And that's when things took a hard left where I was like, you're a fucking asshole. And now you want to send this thing into the ground? I'll send it in the fucking ground. So that's when the date really got nasty and brought us to this point of being in this energy at the recap of it. But that's the phone reference. Was that it for that clip?
Yeah.
Okay. This next clip. I don't want to over-explain everything. She's such a fucking prude.
Hang on. Take your dick down.
Hold on. Keep it going.
She's a prude. You think she's not
absolutely
a prude?
fucking prude. She wouldn't even. She barely was like. She didn't want to come into my house. She was like, I can't come into your house.
It's called being uninterested,
Like, what are you, a
Joe.
psycho?
Not
Then why did you go out with me, Kathy?
For the
You fucking
podcast.
gold-digging asshole.
For
Then why did you go out with me?
followers. For Twitter followers?
Kathy, congratulations. Your Twitter followers, you're not getting any because everybody's going to be on my side, Kathy.
Okay.
You look like a fucking asshole right now.
Now, she definitely is an asshole, but it's very, very funny.
Wow.
So she does this whole. Let me explain what that meant too about not going to my house. It wasn't about going into my house to fuck around.
Although that would be nice if a girl does that.
Well, I wasn't even referring to that. I was referring to at the beginning of the date. I said, just meet me at my place. And she goes, I'm not coming into your place. And she does, which is fine. But she does this whole thing where she's like, I'm a wild girl. I don't give a fuck. I'll say whatever.
One of those.
I'm adventurous. I'll do anything at any time. And then you go, but you won't walk into my apartment. I actually said to her on the day, I go, what do you think? I have a net hanging over the door that I'm going to drop on you? I'm like, what do you think is going to happen by walking into my apartment? I just, I have no problem with, I just can't, again, now we're starting to get into like, are you diplomatic? When somebody acts irrationally or illogically, it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
So I just couldn't stand the fact that she was saying, I'm so much fun and I'm so spontaneous, yet at the beginning of a date, when we have dinner reservations, you won't walk. What is going to happen from walking? I don't even understand. Like, I can't even compute what the downside of that is.
Okay, but clearly this date to her is a bit. Did you look at this date anything else than a bit? Do you know what I mean? Like, she's doing it for the podcast. Were you doing it out of maybe there can be romance?
No. I went out with her and as I said to her several times through the podcast, I go, listen, if you want to do it for a bit, that's fine, but then chip in, and be part of it, which she didn't. And it's going to get into that. It's going to, you'll hear that. It's going to get into the money argument.
All right, let's listen to another clip from this wonderful date. What's her name again?
Kathy.
Joe and Kathy.
Remember when she said on the podcast last week, what Kathy, what are the chances of Joe's getting the cock touch tonight?
I don't remember last week's podcast.
0%.
What are you, a savant?
0%. She said it on the podcast.
Yeah, your cock touch is a lot different than making out with somebody.
But here's the deal.
You
Joe.
said you never make out on the first date. Those
I
are your
said I rarely make out.
No,
on the
you
first
said
date.
never, Kathy.
Yeah, but what we're
But
saying.
I have, Joe.
Well, then you're a liar.
No, I kind of lied to you. I felt bad. Like, what do
Why
I say?
would you
Sometimes
feel
I do,
bad?
but I don't like you to your face. It's fucking
Yeah,
weird.
be a fucking grown up. Take out 60 beans, put it on the fucking bill, and take your fucking lumps.
Absolutely not. Are you
Exactly.
Hang on one
Dude,
second.
I can't even. I can't. I
Don't
hate her
you-
so fucking much.
you don't take- you don't take
the headphones off.
I won't.
You don't
I
push the
won't.
mic away.
I
Oh,
hate
no,
her
then
so
I
much.
win. Then I win.
No, you don't
Oh,
win.
God.
You're a fucking asshole.
bailiff,
in life.
order in the court.
Please, I win.
You're an asshole.
As the
in life.
bailiff, I'm breaking this up.
Wow, damn
Wow. Yeah, I pushed the fucking mic aside and took my headphones off. I was getting so mad.
Yeah, you were angry right there.
It's
for
what do
real.
you? I mean, this is the thing. It's like, what do you do in a situation like that when a woman makes you that mad? If a guy made you that mad, you'd be like, dude, we're gonna fight.
man, you have
We're
no
gonna
idea.
fucking fight. When a woman makes you that mad, it can't go there,
So
and you're
she
like, I have to
says-
walk out of this room right now.
You totally nail her with, you said you don't kiss on the first date.
Right.
And then she has to fucking dig it in with you by saying, no, I do, but just not you.
And,
that's a direct jab at you.
And that, well, it is a jab. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Anthony. It is
Yes.
a jab, and I didn't appreciate it. But that's my point with the chick, is that she says she just is a walking contradiction.
Yeah.
She sits there and goes, I never do this. And then she goes, well, I lied. And then you go, then say you're a liar.
Yeah.
Then say I'm a liar. Then she goes, I don't have to say I'm a liar. I'm not a liar.
And
It's
then
like,
and then she pities you. Like, oh no, I felt bad for you. It's like, really, I need your pity that you're not gonna fucking kiss me. Fuck this bitch.
And she really made it like, she started to really make it like, you're mad that I won't make it. I'm like, I'm not mad that I won't make, I don't care about that. I go, I am just calling this for what it is now, because you leapt over a table and physically attacked me and then acted like I had to just deal with it because you're a chick. Okay.
Very well. And especially talking over you.
Oh, the Twitter's popping.
If she let you talk and was civil during this and you were like you are in this conversation, you'd come off looking like a fucking nut.
Yeah, I know.
But
She put out
it's her
$60.
fucking like just talking over you and contradicting herself and
It's
denying
and the
things.
grating voice.
Yes.
And oh, it's pathetic. It's
Yeah.
pathetic.
Is it
It's like
pathetic?
you entitled asshole. It's just she sounds like a girl in my Super Sweet 16. You know what I mean? Or what?
Those bitches.
Yeah, it's just awful. So
now I guess this is the last clip. So
it's where he hits her.
Yeah. It sounded like it was gearing up for that. So the last clip of the recap of the date. Let's hear this.
You never in your fucking life, I guarantee it, have had to go out on a date and sacrifice anything up to and including up to and including this situation.
lost a lot on
Shut up now. Shut up.
Oh,
Okay.
man. Wow.
You told me stories in the fucking restaurant about like, oh, when I used to drink, I'd see a guy and I go, I'm gonna flick my cigarette at his head. And I go, would guys hit you? Jesus Christ, it's horrible. She goes, no, they fucking loved it because you're used to putting your tits on display and let your little fucking thong top hang out and getting what you want in the cheapest fucking way possible. You didn't spend a goddamn dime on that date. You went out, you ate a fucking meal, you filled your stomach, and you went home. You don't. And
Exactly.
if you did,
That's why I win and you lose.
Kathy, dude, get her out of here. I'm serious.
Wait, Joe, you don't walk away, Joe.
I can't be
You
around
don't
this
walk-
fucking
See?
chick.
You don't walk away from the party.
I can't be around this chick. She's such a fucking
What are you
asshole.
gonna do? Hit her? No. All right, so stop. You can take it. You're fine.
You can't take
Joe,
it, obviously.
Joe, it's fine. It's just a girl with tits.
I don't fucking like her.
Yeah,
I think
but-
she's a piece of garbage.
I win.
Holy shit. Oh, that I win. Like she played you, got her dinner, gave you nothing, so she wins.
You know what? If you punch her and then a judge heard that, the judge would say, you know what? You were right.
I loved you got to get her out of here.
Yeah, she goes, I win. And then there's a pause. Get her out of here.
Get her out of here.
Get her out of here, Freddie.
Yeah. Get her out of here.
I fucking.
You got
Bonnie,
something?
Bonnie and Derosa had a falling out.
Really? We're no longer speaking.
Why? What happened?
I was an asshole, I guess, according to him. And,
Yeah, you don't believe that. Wow, Joe has a problem with everyone.
When were you an
And-
asshole, Bonnie?
Well, I did his.
Everywhere she appeared.
I did a short for him where I played.
I was in one of the shorts.
Yes, that's right.
Mine did way better than yours.
Okay,
Wow.
fantastic.
Wow, thank you. Thank you.
Things out.
So
Why didn't you call me and tear me down for 20 minutes?
Did you and him have a?
Wait, he teared you down?
So I went. I did.
By the way, your short was very, very funny.
I didn't watch it, but
you play a boss.
Yes, I wanted
And it
to
was a
play.
Metallica
I wanted to
angle.
play the character a little differently, and he didn't want me to, which I thought was a little weird. That he wouldn't just let people do it.
They know
however
how
they
to
wanted to do it. You know, he was like,
Sure, whenever you do a
Cecil
movie, you
Beast DeMills. So he. So anyway, I got there. He's a little more serious than
He's a little intense.
He
on
was
the set.
intense, but I
He's a
was
little
joking
intense on the
around.
set.
You
and
guys
I-
did it intense?
And yeah, we did it intense.
I'm gonna go
Terrible.
home. I'm not
Oh
doing.
my
I'm not doing
God.
this.
It was a
No,
good
I'm only
story,
kidding.
and he
I'm not
interrupted
doing
it
this.
tense?
You
It's a
did it
joke.
intense.
Terrible. I know it's a joke, but the problem is it's a bad one.
But it had none of the makings of a joke.
Go ahead.
She's
It
telling
was
a story.
wordplay. Let's give.
Go ahead.
All right, it was good word.
It's
It's
kind
wordplay.
of
That was a
uncomfortable
step up
story.
for
I'm
him.
trying to get
He's-
out of it.
Bonnie, what happened?
So I said to him, as he was telling everybody what the rundown was going to be, and I said, "When do we order pizza?" And I was, half joking, but half wanted pizza. You know what I mean? But I would have went and got my own pizza. I was just
Yeah, of course.
I mean, trying to kind of bust his balls about it, and then so that was irritating to him. He had to order pizza now. He said I put him in a situation.
You got mad because you asked for pizza?
Yeah, he had to buy the whole crew pizza. I said I would have paid for it.
Joe's a chiseler.
What was the whole
So-
crew? How many people were on the crew?
I don't know. There was a lot of people there.
Like
you
12?
know.
No, it's a real.
Yeah,
it's a
like
real
there's
fucking
one
set.
person that just gets you to
Sam?
sign shit. I mean, I don't know
There's
how.
5 or 6.
But how many pizzas is it?
I think he's gonna come in.
You're
I don't
nervous,
know.
huh?
There was this was the other thing. So then we wanted half cheese, half peppers and onions, and he wouldn't do it. He's like, no, you'll get all cheese. And there was like 3 of us that were like, well, we want peppers and onions. Just do it on half. And he was like, no, just cheese.
What?
Because he was controlling it. And then finally I was like, Joe, just get it. And then he's like, fine. And he got mad. And then it came. And then I guess I might have, in front of the crew and everything, that made, I was disrespecting the
Right. The director.
the director
leader,
by
right.
forcing him to get
He really
half.
is, but he's really mad.
So
they
then,
don't talk.
so then, yeah, no. So then I spilled a little piece of the one of the peppers on the.
It's all over pizza.
In the thing. No,
It gets
more
worse.
than that.
All right.
And then I went to clean up, but Joe started losing his
What'd you
mind, and I
spill it
got
on?
On a chair.
embarrassed in front of everyone, where he was like, "Jesus Christ, Bonnie, you're getting it all over!" And I was trying to clean up, and then I go, "It's not my fault," which I guess I shouldn't have yelled that and walked out. I was just whatever. And so then he was this. I find this all out later, by the way. I don't know this is happening.
Okay.
And then he was mad that he had to clean up the pizza, and then I
Off
didn't
the
go.
chair.
Yeah, I didn't go get water or anything. I just left because I did. It was a bad move on my part.
Why did you take it so
Or tell me
seriously?
off.
He called me, but I'm
He wants to be a
see, it's
director.
weird. I'm
This is
friends
his
with
thing.
him. I'm friends with him. When he called, I go, look, I got to side with my wife.
Okay,
but
first
I go,
of all,
but
I
said
was
no.
crying when
I
I
said-
called Rich to tell him, and he goes, "Oh, come on, you're an asshole too."
I didn't say that when you were crying. I
How come you
know.
were crying?
No.
Because it was
It's emotional.
hard to
'Cause they go
take
way
someone
back.
telling you. I mean, I didn't know that everyone thought I was an asshole on either shoot. By the way, I mean,
The
I
other
didn't
shoot, the
realize
first shoot, you
that
didn't
my
think he was.
personality was.
But
You
Rich,
didn't know he was
toxic.
the director.
What does she act like on these sets?
I'm not there. I'm not on the show with her. But I know
What is it?
Bonnie.
Hold on, hold
No,
on, hold on.
hold on. Let me
Is
finish.
it nervous energy?
No, Bonnie's a funny person.
No,
She's
no,
funny
no, I'm
anywhere.
just fucking around.
So then why
but,
wouldn't he pick up on that? Because you guys have been around forever.
It would be like if when I come in here and sometimes I'll make fun of you guys a little bit or whatever.
course.
Like hey, you're disrespecting me.
We wouldn't say that.
It's like I have to be careful. Sometimes
Well,
they
we
don't.
wouldn't say that.
No, you guys wouldn't, but I'm saying
He did.
some people have an issue with that I don't give the right amount of weight to things.
It's a comedian.
Respect.
No,
Bonnie-
that's why I'm trying to jump in here a lot because I've seen it a few times now. He really wants to be like a director. He
Yeah,
takes
but there's
that shit
other ways
really
to be a
seriously.
director.
Yeah, when we
You don't have
directed
to
our
be a-
movie, there was no
But
way.
he wears different hats. Yeah,
But you
he's a
can't-
comic, and you could go at it with him. But when he's doing this stuff, he is focused.
But a
man.
director can't start pouting over pizza toppings
do.
if one of their
No, because he's
actors-
intense and nervous and wants to make sure it all works out in the end.
He has to be fair to him.
And He has a
this.
lot to worry about.
He has a lot to worry about.
He has to worry about his lines because
Yes.
he's acting, and he knows how he wants the thing done because he wrote the whole fucking.
He's doing it in a very short amount of time.
And then he's picking people he thinks could do the role, so that's a lot to worry about.
But
and then when I show up and go, and he looked at me like, "You don't know your fucking lines." I got Bill Burr here, and
he said that he goes, I've had Opie in my shit. I've had Bill Burr in my shit.
Somebody pick up the hotline in the other room.
Why? Who is it?
I don't know. It's just ringing and nobody picks up the
It
phone.
might
here.
be. Why? I could just pick up the hotline.
But now somebody else did.
Because you told him to. I
Somebody's
don't give a
got to.
fuck who it is.
Pick him up.
But here's the thing I just want to say about it is that I'm not mad at him for being mad at me for whatever at the shoot. I apologize for that. It's what I am upset with is if you're a friend of mine, then you should probably know a little bit about who I am. Like as a person, I'm not a person that comes in and shakes people's hands and is completely appropriate.
Oh, so you are an asshole.
Yes.
I am that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Why would you be an asshole?
It's my sense of humor. I think it's funny.
I'm not going to side with Derosa because I know that I know how Bonnie is. Like I know you're just trying to be funny and like I do stuff, but it's like remember Patrice was shooting something and he said after he shot the project he goes, "Oh my God, I've been an asshole." He goes, "Anybody on your set who's asking like questions or being that guy is an asshole." Like he felt bad about the way he had acted on all those sets when he was shooting something. So Joe's just a new director. He was probably overreacting, but he's just stressed because he's a new director.
Right, but my
he doesn't
problem is
handle that
how
stuff.
he went about then afterwards, like trash. I mean, he gave me a trashing
Well,
for 20 minutes about my character. I mean,
But he sets it in a way where you realize you got to take it very seriously. So when you were messing around with the whole pizza thing, that probably drove him nuts.
I didn't know at that time. I honestly was not aware that I was.
Well, pizza wasn't in the budget.
Yeah.
All right, we got to hit the Carolines.
What?
We got to test our movie.
I didn't stick around for nothing. I want the Bonnie Joe DeRosa conflict now.
Yeah, well,
When
Joe
the fuck
DeRosa is
he?
here, but
because like he wants to be
he's
a director.
disrespecting you.
I want to be a radio show host,
before you
right?
guys leave.
Right.
And he's respecting
Never
what
gonna happen. Done.
You're an asshole. You're never gonna be on my show. Expect a phone call.
What about the
and an
girl? Why don't you
email.
bring the girl and guy in at least? I feel bad.
Bring in Kelly. Where's
No,
Kelly?
I don't want
No.
Kelly.
You know,
Okay.
you insulted her last time. Bring in
Who is
Kelly.
she?
Eric, get Kelly in here.
She's,
All right.
she's like a wannabe.
Why do you say this? This is why people
Well,
think you're an asshole.
Let's just be mean to her then.
Yeah, no problem.
Bring her
And this is
in.
why people
Hold on.
think you're an asshole.
I said get her
You're
in.
a nice guy, Rich.
Joe,
Why isn't he doing my show?
are you coming by the channel? Because I'm still here. I'm still on the air. You coming by or what?
Kelly, sit down.
I was trying to get over there, but I don't think I'm going to make it.
Oh,
I'm
brother.
not sure if I'm going to make it or not. You're still on the air, though?
Yeah, Bonnie told some whacked out story about you.
What did he say?
No.
It wasn't good, man.
What did he say? What's the story?
Well, Bonnie said that you're really, really hard to work with.
Oh, Jesus.
Donnie McFarlane?
Yeah.
Summing up.
Yeah, her and
Oh, I hear a fucking rotten laugh.
No, that's me.
Rich is here and Bonnie's here, and she told a horrific story. I feel really bad for her.
Don't listen to him. Don't fall for it.
It's tough. You know, it's funny, Opie, that you bring that up on the air. Because, yesterday I called her and tried to say, hey, we've been talking a long time. And
Oh, she's not over it.
Yeah,
you think somebody call you back after you leave a message like that? Oh,
I've been really busy. I'm
Joe.
sorry.
Joe, she told
Tell
that,
him to call the hotline.
she told that whole story, and trust me, she's not over it.
It's not true.
well, guess what? I'm not over it either. She's hard to work with.
Why are you doing this?
Hey, Joe, was I easy to work with?
Oh, you were a breeze. You know what? You were a lot of fun. You were all laughs.
Thank
didn't
you.
remember your lines.
I wasn't prepared though.
You know what? That didn't matter. When somebody's got a good attitude, that's all that counts.
What's happening over there, Sam?
Turn hers up.
What? Oh, hold on. Bonnie's playing the message that you left her.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe, can we call you on the hotline? Make this easier.
Yeah, but I gotta go in like 2 minutes.
All right, we'll call you right back. We'll call you right back. E-Rock, call him right now. His number's 917.
Don't do it.
What? What happened? All right, I hung up on Joe. Call him back. Let me hear the message you left, Bonnie.
Okay.
It's Joe Derosa. I know we haven't spoken in a while,
Put the bottom to the mic.
but I just wanted to call to say that good luck this weekend with the screening. And Rich, and I'm sure it will. It's a great movie, and I'm really proud of it. You should be. It's really good, and I'm proud to be a part of it. And I just hope everything goes really well.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Bonnie just played the voicemail you left.
Wait. You gotta wait till the end.
All right, hold on. We're still listening to it.
I miss being friends with you.
See, and I told you, and I said to you that he's reaching out. Okay, obviously you're my wife, and I'm going to take your side. But I said he's reaching out, so maybe now it's time to bury the hatchet and mend ways.
In your head.
No, I don't care.
I don't see it that way. I don't think the voicemail was sincere.
It was like he was reading.
Yeah, it was kind of
Actually,
like he read it.
I think that
Oh
it's
my
hard
God.
for him. It would be
You know
hard
what?
to say
You know
say
what?
that.
I
And that's why.
retract. Hold on a second, guys.
Hey, you don't
Hold on a second,
believe
guys.
what he's saying to you. First of all, you don't know what I said. So if you're going to backtrack on it, you should know
what
that I fell on the sword. I said I was an asshole.
She said she was sorry about dripping the peppers on the chair.
I didn't hear that part.
Yes.
Yes, you
Oh,
did.
well, I thought you were just saying that you didn't think I was being sincere in the message.
No, I don't know if you can tell the lady voices from the man voices, but that was OP.
It's very confusing. The sirens going. Listen, the message was very sincere.
Yes.
I miss Bonnie.
Yawn.
Yawn. Aw,
Sorry.
OP.
Yeah, it's the truth. What do you want from me? I feel bad about everything.
So you're admitting you were wrong?
But wait, we
Is
didn't
that
get
what I'm
Joe's side
hearing?
of the story. Joe, so what happened on the set? Because she told her version really quickly, because I know you're going into a meeting. What happened? And be honest.
This is what happened. Bonnie spilled some stuff on the chair. I got upset because it was like the head guy at Warner Brothers. Come on, man. And she kind of like snapped at me a little bit and was like, whatever. And then she walked out of the room and didn't help me clean it up. And then I got mad.
See, I told exactly. It's exactly the same story.
I gotta take Bonnie's side. That's you're a little-
I told the exact same
you
story.
wound a little tight, Joe. I'm thinking. How bad could the chair be with a little pizza on it?
It was a fucking velvet chair.
Joe, I just want to go back a little bit to when I was an asshole asking for peppers and onions on half of the pizza.
I think you're missing the point, Bonnie.
But Bonnie, you didn't do it on purpose, right?
I didn't do it on purpose.
All right, Joe, if she didn't do it on purpose, can't you understand that a little bit?
Of course I can. And I didn't, it's not like I screamed at her and went, what the fuck?
You made her cry. You made her cry.
She did cry in the end.
Well, wait a minute. Bonnie cried 2 days later when we talked.
Exactly.
She cried that night.
No, that night I didn't really know that it was like that bad.
Is that Sam? Sam, you're really bugging me.
Well, listen, if you would
Don't disrespect
don't
him.
disrespect me. I'm trying to do a show here.
Not your show yet.
It is. Yes, it
What the
is.
fuck?
And
I gave you a break, and now you're trying to push me out the door. Go fuck
he
yourself.
was booked to do my show, and he
What
just
happened?
decided not to show up.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He was late to his own shoot too, guys.
It's disrespectful. He's not going to get back on the after show.
Joe, it seems like you were wound a little too
Joe,
tight.
I
because you
just
had a
want to
lot-
go over one more point.
You had a lot on your mind that day, right?
Now, Opie, let me ask you this. Let me
Yes.
ask you this. And I'm not saying this to be provocative anyway. You were with me that day when we shot.
Oh no, you don't want to ask this. You don't trust me.
No, I'm not. No. I wasn't Opie. Did you say I was wound tight? Or
Yes. Yes. But
there's a lot to think about. So I'm a little stressed.
Joe, I did kind of.
We all said
I
that.
kind of stuck up for it. I said he absolutely is wound a little tight on the set, and he's definitely a different Joe Derosa. But I said I respected that because I know he wants it to go well because you wrote it. It's your vision. You got other people there that you hired. I get it. But no, my answer was you wound a little.
Well, no,
tight.
and Bonnie agreed with him. But here's
and then on top of it, you got to act out your part of the whole thing too.
Here's the thing, Joe. Here's the thing, and Bonnie agreed with that too. That you're stressed out. It's a lot of pressure. But say you hired an actor, just a regular actor, to lead in one of your shorts that are great, and that actor didn't come prepared and didn't know their lines, you would fucking lay into them like no tomorrow. But being that it's Opie and he has the Opie and Anthony radio show, you didn't attack, you didn't go after him like that. So but hey, hold on. So what with Bonnie, Bonnie's an ass from Jump Street. So you should have realized that's her character. She's just trying to have fun to play with her. What?
Rich, first of all, let me swat down your first statement because we didn't yell at you when you didn't know any of your fucking lines on the cheat set.
Oh. First of all, I didn't have
Whoa. I don't agree with what you're saying, and I'm offended by it.
I love that.
This is exactly how the conversation went, by the way. Yeah.
Now I can leave, Sam. Now I can leave.
Yeah.
Bonnie,
yeah.
Honestly, quite frankly, I called you yesterday to try to smooth things over.
Yes.
And instead of calling me back like a friend and talking to me about it, you just go on the radio and try to make a bit out of it, and then start acting like you were in no way wrong in this situation.
Joe,
That's not what I said. That's not what happened at all.
She apologized for the pizza.
Joe, I did tell her to take it a little more seriously than she was. I must say.
All right.
I did try because I'm like, whoa, you're not taking this seriously.
And Bonnie didn't
I
try.
don't have a problem, Joe. I don't have a
I'm
problem
there
with you
for you,
being
Joe.
mad at me. I don't have a problem with you telling me that I was a jackass. What I have a problem with is that you felt the need for some reason to go over every fucking flaw that I have on that phone
you
call.
asked me to, Bonnie.
No, I absolutely did not. I couldn't get you to get off the phone. I begged you to stop. That's not true,
Bonnie,
Joe.
That's not true. Verbatim, your exact words to me were, Joe, I don't know what I did to piss you off, so I want you to go through it and tell me exactly what I did. You said that to me. I
That's
said, all right,
ridiculous.
Bonnie, if you want me to, I will. And I started with the stupid pizza thing, and you got really hung up on it. And I was like, Bonnie, it's not about the pizza. And you're like, well, why are you bringing it up? And I was like, because you asked me to tell you
See how he does my voice?
that will happen.
Sounds annoying.
So
But wait, but here's the thing, Joe.
I begged him to stop, and then I did say, "Are you sure you want to do this?" You went for it. And the other thing is that I need to know: did everyone hate me on the cheat set? And did everyone hate me on the whatever the other thing was called?
No, nobody hated you on the cheat set. Nobody hated you on the What Are We Waiting For set. I plan on making everybody on my next set hate you, even though you're not a part of it.
Am I part of the next project, Joe DeRosa?
No, hey, Joe, Bonnie
I want to know if I'm part of the next project.
Oh, of course you are. Rich.
Yeah, of course.
I got a nice part for you.
Nice.
Wait, listen, Joe. Bonnie didn't try to make a bit out of this on radio. Opie, who has no material left for the day, saw an opportunity to get you. All right. Okay.
Bonnie, when you started crying, I was like, Bonnie, please stop crying. Come on, I'm sorry. And you wouldn't listen to me. I was
Because she was crying.
He's
Don't you understand? When I told you to stop.
No, I do this with my baby
Oh
all
my
the
God.
time. I say, "Hey, come on, stop."
When women get to a point they're
and then
crying,
I
they're not
keep on-
listening to anything. They got to go through their thing.
All right, well.
Don't make this a gender thing. I mean,
Well,
I gotta
it's been
go
my
to a meeting.
experience.
Bonnie, I meant
Well, I don't cry like that.
sincerely.
I don't know.
I
I'm
hope we
sorry.
can be- I
Wow,
hope
me and Bonnie are not friends anymore.
Hey, Joe, are you coming tomorrow? Or are you out of town?
oh, we cut you out of the movie.
No.
No, it's been a great day of radio, except for one show. Yeah. It's been a fantastic day. I had a blast on Kevin Brennan, Burning Bridges. I had a blast on Cumia. I had a blast on Jim and Sam this morning. And I'm going to have a blast with you guys. It was one show with a real fucking cocksucker that wasn't fun.
When we come back, old friend, great comedian, actor, Joe DeRosa will join us in studio for the first time in a long time. Last time he was here, you guys really liked him. I didn't, but the audience certainly did. We'll be right back.
I mean, that's clearly a joke.
Well, that's what I thought until you hear what the fuck went down.
Oh, but I don't know if those two are like related. Yeah, I that think might that was just a be- joke coming in.
No, I don't believe it.
Do you know how you came in like fuck Joe DeRosa?
Yeah, I believe I know this man intimately at this point. Because this has happened to me. The first two times I went on a show, it got hot, and we left on good terms. So the first time I was a little weird. Second time I was like, wow, what a coincidence.
Yeah. Today I was like, and I say it on the air, I go, you do this to me every fucking time I come on the show. Like this is not a coincidence at this.
So we'll get, so you didn't like the intro, and then.
But I didn't go in hot over the intro. Okay. I just, in hindsight, I'm like, oh.
That was
he was like ready to be condescending.
That was a Priya.
This is a guy I've known for 15 years.
Yeah.
He does that classic thing that right-wing and left-wing people do where they go, dude, I actually lean left, but Trump is brilliant. And you're like, what are you talking? Just be who you are, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who cares about it? And you were doing that, and he was pressing a bit. But I will say, and maybe it's just how certain people's personality rubs you.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't see it coming when you flipped. But I feel like he was just like thumbnailing you in the left tit for 30 minutes.
I can explain. What made me pop was that he was being so condescending the whole time, and I just kept giving him leeway. I just kept being like, because very early on in the interview, he says, when he talks about my column in Penthouse, he goes, "So you talk about things you don't believe in and blah, 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 blah." And I go, well, there's exceptions to every rule, but you got to speak in generalities when you write these sort of op-ed pieces. And he goes, it's just sad to me to think like, he was kind of putting these little fucking jabs in, and I kept letting them slide. And the thing that really set me the fuck off was when I started talking about my very, very liberal best friend, Jim Pinkstone, who I grew up with, who lives in Atlanta, who was kind of telling me like, we always talk about this shit. And he goes, hey bro, like, I get it. Like, you're in LA, you're in the literal polar opposite of what I'm in. I'm in Atlanta where it's like, everybody's like Trump, guns, we love it, blah, blah, blah. He goes, and that pisses me off and I get furious. He goes, you're in the opposite of that. And you get furious at the opposite of that. So when I started talking about that, and then Pete goes, well, maybe you should just get your own experiences instead of just listening to what your friend thinks. That's when I was like, fuck you, dude.
You spent time in Atlanta?
Yes. I spent a lot of time
like a bastion of liberal ideology.
No, it's not.
Yeah, everything around it.
Hold on. Can I tell you right now? Already, as your friend, I can hear the gas on your breath. I can hear Joe coming in. As someone that knows Joe, as Joe coming in.
This is, by the way, this is the 32-minute mark of a fucking discussion.
It's like it's if you dropped into a long car ride, like 9 hours in, and he goes, "Is that a mountain?" He goes, "Yeah, that's a mountain. Yeah, that's a fucking mountain." You can ask me about if we're in the fucking Rockies.
This is
fucking.
This is 32 minutes in, and this is the point where I realized, like, this motherfucker did this to me every time I've come on the show, and I'm done.
So start again. Sorry.
You spent time in Atlanta?
Yes, I spent a lot of time in
Atlanta's like a bastion of liberal ideology.
No, it's not.
Yeah, everything around Atlanta sucks. No?
No, you're wrong. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Then pick another city that's like that. If that's
I
not
think there's
good
plenty of others. I feel like Atlanta. I have always. my understanding is Atlanta itself has always been liberal. They are liberal politicians.
I go to Atlanta 4 times a year to visit my best friend in the world, and every time I talk to him, he's like, "Dude, I'm just surrounded by."
Well, maybe you should have your own experience.
I thought you were currently visiting your best friend in the world.
I should say my oldest friend, you needy bitch. You don't fuck you, right?
No, it's fine. It's totally cool.
Dude,
but you can hear it in peace real quick.
Let me tell you, because I think this is what you're going to say as well.
Yeah.
You can hear you can just hear him being condescending.
If that's
I
not
think
good.
there's plenty of others. I feel like Atlanta. I have always. my understanding is Atlanta itself has always been liberal. They elect liberal politicians.
I go to Atlanta 4 times a year to visit my best friend in the world, and every time I talk to him, he's like, "Dude, I'm just surrounded by."
Well, maybe you should have your own experiences, not based on what your best friend is saying. I've been to Atlanta a bunch of times, and I felt differently. No, what do you get so frustrated for?
Because
that fucking. Yeah, sorry. We were right at
I do know what Joe's face did there.
I went like this. I went.
That's what I would have guessed.
Yeah.
I would have went.
I look off to the side. It was my Billy Bats moment. Where I'm like,
do I do it? Go get your shine box. All right. Sorry.
You should have your own experiences, not based on what your best friend is saying. I mean, I've been to Atlanta a bunch of times, and I felt differently. No? What do you get so frustrated for?
Because you're a cunt.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You're being a cunt. You're being
What does it even mean?
What do you mean, what does it mean? You know what it means?
No, I don't. I don't know how you're using it.
Every fucking time I come on this show,
off air, you go, hey, dude, it's great to you. You want to talk about this? And I go, yeah, let's talk about Twitter or whatever the fuck it is. And then we go on the air, and you're so fucking condescending. You sit there and you go, don't you dare say this. This isn't right. That's not right. You're wrong. This is wrong. And I go, well, no, Pete, I don't agree. I actually think this. You go, well, you're fucking wrong. And even with this fucking Atlanta thing, a city you never go to, that I go to Atlanta all the time. For what? CNN, I work there. I went there every week. I go there all the time. I do gigs. I was just there. I just spent the night in Atlanta.
Oh, the night?
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back either with or without Joe.
By the way, like Joe goes, the night? You spent the night?
I spent days, dude. I'm day Atlanta. Do you know what day Atlanta is?
I do like arguing over the difference of days versus the. He goes, 3 nights in Atlanta.
It's just so funny.
Well, it's like I literally go down there for like a week and a half at a time and stay on live in the environment. And I love Atlanta, but it's like this fucking guy. I just spent the night there. I go to Atlanta all the time. Yeah, you don't know. Cuomo and I went down there to do a piece. Shut the fuck up, Pete.
I go to Atlanta all the time.
So what happened?
So it didn't end good off air, huh?
Yeah, because he dumped
it got nasty off air.
Well, because what happens is he dumped out of that quick. He was like, he's like, let's go to break. Fuck, my Atlanta cred's on the line here.
That was weird. You know, it was like, dude, he leapt out of his chair and he started screaming at me.
What was he yelling at you?
What every extremely left liberal ever yells at you when they're wrong. He goes, how dare you? How dare you? He just kept yelling, how dare you at me? And I was like, Pete, fuck off, man. And he goes, I was actually very
how dare you? To say that for real.
You know what it is?
To another dude is like, I bet you can get there for sure, but it's a funny one to get there.
It's on the same level as the audacity.
Yeah.
The audacity.
I never.
Why
Yeah, and it's like, Pete, it wasn't that daring. You're a fucking moron.
Yeah.
This was easy to do.
You challenged beliefs.
But he's screaming, how dare you? And then he goes, I go, what? What the fuck, right? And he goes, how dare you? You come on my show and
poppycock
in front of
poppycock.
He goes, you come on my show. I was very proud of this response. He goes, you come on my show in front of my audience. He's screaming at me. And call me a condescending cunt. And I go, Pete, to be fair, I called you a cunt and condescending separately.
Just like that?
Yeah, that's good.
And he did not think that was funny.
Like steam boiling.
It's like,
dude,
it's what's his name in fucking Roger Rabbit? Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Is that what they say? Yeah. At the end where you realize that Christopher, what's his name, is the guy?
Christopher Lloyd.
It's like, Pete, do I have to put you in the dip? Stop it. Relax.
Pete puts a cartoon shoe in a fucking oil derrick in front of you. Pete goes, do you know what purpose? Someone challenged me on my radio show. You go, no, you put that cartoon daisy back in its pod.
Monster.
Yeah.
He's literally, I'm not exaggerating. He's so mad that he's jumping up and down.
After
he's jumping up and down.
After you said,
after the whole thing, like that, I slipped that to be fair comment in while he was jumping up and down, and he's jumping up and down. And he's fucking pointing at me. And he's going, "How dare you? You're supposed to be my fucking friend. I defended you for 3 years." And I go, "What the fuck are you talking about? You defended me?" And he goes, "Before we went on the air, I said I wanted to talk about you and the Cumia thing that happened on Twitter, and you said I don't want to." And I go, "Pete, you didn't fucking defend me. I said me and Cumia squashed the beef 2 years ago. I don't want to fucking talk about it. How is that you defending me?"
Yeah.
And he's screaming at me. Then his producer comes in. His producer's like, "Joe,
5 minutes there, boss."
Yeah, and he's like, "Joe, I'm sorry."
3?
Yeah. And you're on.
He goes,
In 3.
Pete, the mics are hot. Guys,
Pete, we've got the Ovaltine's live read. If you could just.
The people at Bowl and Branch want you to have the same kind of comfort.
I cannot believe Blink Camera offers you a better way to look at security. In 15 years, I fed you from my breast.
Sleep is cool as the other side of the pillow every night.
3 U.S. presidents. What's
Can
that?
3 U.S. presidents be wrong?
Then he said, so his producer comes in and he starts holding Pete back and he's going, Pete, stop.
Holding him back, like physically?
Yeah. And he's going, Pete, stop. And he's going, Joe, I'm sorry. And I'm like, whatever, man. And I start walking out. Pete is like trying to jump past his producer at me.
What?
I'm not bullshitting. He's trying to jump past his producer at me.
To fight you?
Dude, he's screaming maniacally at me.
Where is this?
In his fucking studio.
Where? I thought he was from home now.
No, right over there. It was right over there. And he's going.
Is it one of the thin studios that's got the glass?
One of the glass ones, yeah. And he's going, fuck you,
shit,
you motherfucker. Why don't you come back and talk to me like a man and whatever? And I go, I'm right fucking here, Pete.
Yeah.
What the fuck you want to talk? I'm right fucking here.
I'm standing here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm standing here.
And he's screaming.
Outside.
And his producer's holding him back. And long story short, I go, Pete, what do you want to fight me?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to fight me? And he goes, I don't fight people because I'm a grown up, especially friends. I don't fight friends. And he's screaming at me. And I go, this is the last thing I said to him. I go, oh, this was a good one. Oh, this was a good fucking knife twist. I go, hey, Pete, if you think I'm the first one of your pals that came on your radio show and left thinking you're a fucking asshole, you're wrong. Which is true. And as I was walking out, he was going, you made that up! That's a lie! This motherfucker thinks he's Michael Moore suddenly. And it's like, hey, Pete, I remember when you took that fucking show on. And when you told me that you didn't think you could do it because you don't know dick about fucking politics. And I'm sorry if I don't sit home all night and all day reading facts and information and statistics out of a nutpaper that I then go on the air and regurgitate to people. You fucking hack.
Yeah.
You're a fucking hack phony. You're a pundit. Barely. Fuck you, you're Ann Coulter. Get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah.
Fuck
you're
you.
fucking Michael Moore. More like...
It's you know, and he's screaming at me, you're my friend, and how dare you do this? You dog, I haven't even talked to you in 3 years.
All the time.
That's why.
I got Atlanta all the time.
The cry of a liar.
Yeah.
I called you all the time.
No, you didn't, Pete.
I get 11 black friends. 11. Yeah. I'll show you texts. Look at this.
The fucking Roger Rabbit thing's not leaving my head.
Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. Quote by Lao Tzu. Joe has never been married, but has had a myriad of relationships. The most notable one being with Nikki Glaser for a disputed amount of time.
Yeah, and she can't keep a guy.
Yeah, I relate to that. I think that she's younger than me, but I feel like we're on the same trajectory, like for our romantic life. And so when she writes a song, I'm like, I just went through that too. So
Oh wow.
Does she have a song called "I Dated a No-Shouldered Comic"? Now I'm friends with Nikki. I would never bring up something I knew off the air, but Joe mentioned it on the show.
No, they did a web series based on.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
We're good.
And I saw the web series. I liked it a lot.
That's beyond me.
What we're talking about, of course, Nikki Glaser went out with Joe Derosa,
Which I don't get at all. You seem like you seem like a nice, pretty girl.
That must have been during your blue period.
Despicable. What I've gotten from hanging out with Mr. Derosa is I don't find that he's very fond of women.
Yeah.
He's got a girlfriend now, though.
Well, he does. I know.
Are you jealous?
Really? I mean, okay. Well, no, I'm happy for him, but we have been hanging out a lot more, and I was wondering, like, what's gonna happen? Like, will it
XX?
No, none of that.
Damn.
None of that. But I he told me, and it was like, oh God, it was more of a jealousy, like, oh, you got it together before I did.
Oh, right. yeah.
That's the worst.
Yeah. So I'm happy for him now.
Oh,
but yeah, he's charming. I mean, I was really trying to think about it coming in here because I thought it might come up.
When I would always say, like, whenever I saw Joe around Nikki, I was like, Nikki, he likes you so much. Like, I just always thought
he pursued me, and not many people
treated her really nice. I saw him going for it.
Joe gets women by basically the equivalent of the hand, please. Please,
Oh,
please,
God.
please.
All right, already. Yes. Oh,
he's
boy.
he's like a brush fire. He's just like, all right. Gotta respect Derosa.
Wow. Yeah. Well, no, and I won't say Joe is like misogynistic or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, I've seen him in confrontations with girls, and he, the second it turns into anything, he goes 100%.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, you cunt.
I've never been
whore,
screamed at more
Really?
than by him.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. When we broke up, I mean, you do this to guys, you do this.
Oh, man.
Where I called everyone I knew afterwards and was like, am I a bad person?
Oh, fuck.
How long did you date?
Like off and on for, I don't know, like maybe 6 months or something.
Oh, that's it? Off and on for 6 months?
It was.
How do you off and on for 6 months?
That's the easy period.
That's like either an on or an off.
Right. 6 months is easy.
It should have been.
By the way, he
should
said
have
you
been
guys
easy.
were together 8 months.
Did he really? I don't know.
Oh, my God.
He might even say less. I don't know. It got to the point where he thought we were boyfriend and girlfriend, and I didn't know. And that was where it got.
Rupert
where he got
Pumpkin
hurt.
had a better relationship with Jerry Langford than Joe had with her.
Oh shit!
So, but you how long until you became friends or stayed friends?
It was a year and a half. We did not speak. It was I've never had that with anyone. We would see each other at shows, and he would just ignore me, and we it was bad. And then we were both on Red Eye together, and. It was
love
tense.
blossoms.
Yeah, right.
Fucking Red Eye.
Oh, you still weren't talking when you went on Red
we were
Eye?
booked on the same
that's
show together. We were in
crazy.
the green room, and it was really tense. And then I was just like, I just asked him. I was like, "How are you?" I tried to start a conversation, and he was receptive. And then I was like, "Let's hang out after this. Like, I want to be friends again." And and now we are.
But no, my longest relationship ever was 8 months total, and 4 months of that was not exclusive.
Wow.
And when I tell you, I dated till the fucking second I wasn't allowed to date other women. To the fucking second.
Do you think that you use, just be honest, do you
Yeah.
think you use being with women or sex to not deal with emotion? Like, I love that you're laughing. That's a yes. I was in that place many times in my life where I had to be like, I had to have a lot of attention from women. Like, I had to have 5 people interested in me. And it's very hard. Like, I haven't been like that in a very long time, but I get it. Because it made me feel good that all these women were attracted to me. And
I don't get off on, like, I'm 42 now. I don't get off on the adoration, like, anymore. There was definitely a time, especially when I was younger in comedy, because comedy was the thing that opened the door for me to date.
Yeah.
It's the thing that made me attractive to women and gave me confidence. And at that time, it was fun to have different women seemingly interested in whatever. But it's been a long time since I enjoyed that. Like, I will hook up with one person at a time, but it just never gets serious. And I don't know if that's, I said to a woman I went out with recently, I say it on the first date at this point. I'm not misleading. I don't mislead anybody. But on the first date, she was like, what do you, what's your deal? Do you ever want to see yourself married? I was like, no, I'm 42. I just don't think it's for me. I think I would have done it by now.
Gavin and Colin Quinn were getting tweets like, hey, would you please come do my new show? I'll send a car for you. Ha, ha, ha. DM me. Come do my show, please. My tweet in the midst. By the way,
This is Anthony
Yes,
tweeting them.
yes.
You sound like a Spurn lover now. Do you feel that?
No, I'm just gonna say something.
A lot of Spurn lover talk today.
By the way, some of my, I guess, anger about the situation is when you're sitting at your aunt's funeral, who was like a second mother to you, and your phone keeps buzzing because you're getting tweets like, you're a talentless selfish shitbag cunt, stick up for Cumia.
Okay,
It's,
well,
you know,
you need to take those
that's-
fucking at replies
Right,
off your
right.
fucking notifications. You don't have your phone buzz when people tweet you.
Right.
What are you, an amateur?
Right, but maybe
Doug Benson.
But my point is like there was some personal stuff in there because I was like I'm
Right.
getting shit for not. This guy doesn't give a fuck about me.
Okay.
Obviously, like he's doing whatever he wants.
Well,
Why am I being held?
Maybe he's just overwhelmed, man. You know,
So-
I mean, you gotta talk to a guy before you form an opinion. In my opinion.
Well, this was the tweet I got.
Okay.
Hey, fuckhead.
From you? From Cumia?
Anthony.
Oh.
Hey, fuckhead. Are you going to do my show when you're in New York? That's the tweet I got when he knew there was bullshit going on online. Then he calls me out in front of everybody like, you're on the spot, douche. Let's go dance. Are you coming on or not? And I responded, I'm 10% black, right?
because I thought that was fucking funny.
Right.
And nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
Not a
This is-
favorite, not a reply,
This is all
nothing.
very personal. Probably shouldn't have aired it out in this manner.
Why?
You got all worked up.
I'm not worked
But
up.
this is all just an interpersonal situation. We were talking about like a more complex issue of racism and what he said now, and then it became all about him not being nice to you.
No, I don't care.
Did kind of.
No.
Little.
It seems like you're taking Twitter way too seriously,
Mhm.
also. I mean, whenever I have a problem with Twitter, I either ban user, ignore it, or anything like that. But it seems like you're very or do you in your personal life before Twitter and everything, do you get in a lot of confrontations with people?
No. I don't. I used to. I don't a lot in my personal life. I used to. I used to be bad about confrontation. I used to. But the only reason I'm bringing in any personal stuff is because you were asking me when I said he doesn't give a fuck about me.
Yeah,
you know,
talk to the guy, man. You got to talk to him. Sometimes, sometimes people are busy, man.
And when he said fuck face or whatever he said, like, hey, fuck face, are you going to do my show or whatever he said? Do you think maybe he was just like, hey, fuck face, when are you going to do my show?
Yeah, that sounds like a text I might get from Brian.
Yeah, because it seems like you in your head were reading it like, hey, fuck face.
Yeah,
I don't
you were all worked up. I mean, let's build it up. You were all worked up. Your aunt died. You're at the funeral. Your phone's busy, buzzing. People are
It's
calling
possible.
you a cunt.
It still doesn't change the fact that I wouldn't do the show. I mean, because
you wouldn't do it because of that.
No, because of the stuff he's
Yeah, but
said.
didn't you? I would do it, even though I don't agree with what he said, because he's my friend. And if we disagreed, I'd like to disagree with him on air. Like, people that I'm friends with have opinions I don't agree with.
Joe Derosa?
Yes.
You're live on the program, sir.
Ann, is that you?
It certainly is, and we're live.
Yes. I know we're live. Can you hear me okay? I'm actually in my car and I'm parked on the street and I'm wearing my shitty Apple headphones headset.
Yeah.
Is the connection okay?
Yes, I hear you fine. I hear you.
Okay.
Perfectly. All right, Joe.
Well,
I watched your appearance on Joe Rogan, who I adore. I love Joe Rogan. And it came off like you, after being friends with me for as long as we have and really hanging out and not just, radio station friends and shit like that, that you took what you read and heard secondhand and decided to make a decision to shun me based on that instead of getting in touch with me and asking me, hey, Anthony, what did you do that show for? Hey, Anthony, why'd you say that on Twitter? What about these other topics that you're covering? Hey, Ferguson, you said this. Instead of one word, you decide to 16-year-old girl not follow me anymore on Twitter, which is hilarious. And then go on Rogan's show and give me shit.
Well, I can explain to you where I was coming from with that. And so, number one, first and foremost, that was not what my intention was to do. There was no part of me that was like, I'm going to go on Rogan's show and give Anthony shit today. And that wasn't what I was trying to do. Now, here's the thing, Ant. I'm totally 110% open to discussing this.
Yeah.
But I keep getting the same note, if you will, on Twitter from people going, you're a bitch, you're making it personal. And then out of the other side of their mouths, they're saying, why didn't you talk to Anthony? So it's like, well, which is it? Is it not allowed to be personal, or is it I should have been personal and talked to Anthony?
Well, there's personal, which is getting on the phone and talking to me would be making it personal. That would be me and you talking about it, personally, man to man. Twitter, don't put any. First of all, why are you putting so much credence in what the people on Twitter say? That isn't a reflection of me or you or anything else, but the people of Twitter. You know how that goes. We've talked about it for since the inception of Twitter.
No, I know that. And I guess I'm not putting credence on it in the sense of like, oh, it's bothering me and it's getting to me. I'm just like, look, to be fair, Jim kind of echoed that sentiment today on Opie and Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of my point isn't to bring up Twitter. My point is to bring up, I'm sort of repeatedly hearing this concept of like, well, you made it personal on the Rogan show, yet you didn't talk to your friend. And I'm like, okay, well, it's either got to be personal or not personal. So
here's my point.
Yeah.
From a personal standpoint, this is what I felt. I felt that I did reach out to you a few times. I felt that I didn't hear back from you a few times. I felt that you and I have never really had a phone relationship. And you and I, after all the years of our friendship, have kept it pretty fucking light.
Oh, yeah.
Have kept it pretty fucking light. Now, here's the other thing I know about our friendship. When we have disagreed on, mainly the thing I remember most disagreeing with you about was stuff about guns.
Yeah.
And you know, look, you would like yell, and you'd get angry at me, and like I don't care that you got angry. I wasn't like, oh, why is he yelling at me? But I was just like, all right, man. Like when Anthony and I talk about that shit, it turns into like a big screaming match. So these are the factors that were influencing. Like, okay, well, how do I approach Anthony about this, and what do I do? But I still shot you those texts, man. You know the text I sent you, and I said, hey, man, I'm sorry you're going through this. I'm sorry this is happening. I hope you're okay. Thank you for all the years of laughter and everything. And I said on Rogan's show yesterday, I am fully aware that I owe most of my career to Opie and Anthony. I was very clear about that. That's something that's not getting mentioned anywhere by anybody.
All right.
So I am 110% grateful for that and indebted for that. There's no part of me that takes that for granted.
If I could just go, I'm hearing everything you're saying, and you're skirting the actual issue here, which is you reached out, you said, hey, Anthony, I hope things are going well for you, things like that. And that's all well and fine. We didn't have a phone call relationship. I don't have a phone call relationship with anybody. Ask my brother. I never even talked to him on the phone. It's all text. We would have funny text exchanges with the capital letters and the dice shit. Every so often, and it was hilarious and stuff. But my issue isn't with we didn't text or tweet or get back. It's you never when it got serious and you decided to literally shun me for fear of losing your black friends. You didn't even reach out to me and ask for clarification on what I was doing.
And I'm not trying to skirt. I give too much backstory. I'm a wordy guy, and I realize that. So let me get to the point I was trying to get to slowly, and try to speed it up. My point is this: after we had texted a couple times, and I said, hey man, let's grab a beer or something. And honestly, Ant, when I wrote that to you, my intention was I need to sit down and have a drink with this guy and try to figure out where he's coming from, because I don't understand where he's coming from right now.
All right.
And I don't agree with it, but let me try to see if he can shed some light on it or something, and blah, blah, blah. Then I started to see the other stuff, or excuse me, I'm sorry. Let me correct that. Then when you started to call the dogs off, and this is where I'm getting called a bitch and all this stuff and whatever, but when you started to call the dogs off of guys like Burr, and you were saying nice things about other people that had reached out to you, so these fucking pests would leave them the fuck alone, and you didn't do that for me, I was like, all right. Again, I wasn't personally offended. I was like, all right, that's just, I guess, a reflection of where we stand. Maybe we're not as good of friends as I thought we were.
You were really jumping to conclusions there, Joe, because the truth of the matter is the reason I wasn't able to hang out and have a beer with you, and I probably in error didn't say, hey, Joe reached out to me and it was cool, is I was trying to get this fucking thing up and running with Keith in 30 days after getting my ass thrown out of a very good job. And a lot of things slipped my mind. You could ask everybody that I have a personal relationship with how distant I have been the past fucking month, because I literally don't have any time to do anything anymore. The 2 hours that I'm on is the 2 hours that I'm not trying to do something else as far as making this better and make it work. So I'm sorry you didn't know that, and you shouldn't have known that. How the fuck would you? But that's the reason a lot of neglect got thrown around on my part as far as that goes. I'll fess up to that I probably should have at least written you back and let you know what was going on. But again, to go on Joe's show, and I know you didn't intend on doing it. Joe Rogan's very good with relaxing people and getting people to talk openly and honestly, and I love that about him. But it was obviously on your mind and bothering you enough to, I didn't even notice till today, by the way, or yesterday, by the way, that you had unfollowed me on Twitter. But it bothered you enough to have done that very passionately on Joe's show about how, I was pretty much.
I don't look at it in any way. And by the way, I'm saying this very honestly to you, because I was a little upset today that there were one or two comments that Jim had made on the show this morning about what I did seemed very calm and planned or something along those lines. I'm kind of paraphrasing what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a little offended by that because I felt like it sounded like what I did was I sat there for weeks and said, you know what? I'll show Cumia he's a piece of shit and I'll get him good. That's not what it was.
I don't think
what it was.
I don't think it was that planned. I don't think regardless of what Jimmy might have thought, and that's what his opinion was. I can't base what I'm thinking on what Jimmy his opinion was, but I think part of it, I think for a while you've been trying to showboat and impress for maybe people like Andy Kindler, and taking that stance on it, and maybe not checking with me to see what really happened, because it's a little more convenient for you to just say, yeah, fuck that asshole. Hey, did you see these assholes, Andy? You see what they're fucking saying about me too now? It kind of puts you in the same camp.
No, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. And I mean, if we're going to talk about assumptions being made about one another, I'm offended that so many people that people are assuming that that's what I'm doing. I'm so needy and desperate somehow that I moved out to Hollywood and suddenly I'm terrified and need the acceptance of certain people. It's I stuck up for Andy. I didn't even realize why people were attacking Andy. I wasn't at Montreal this year. I didn't even put those pieces together until well into my defense of him. I was defending him because people were seeing that he and I were palling around back and forth on Twitter and tweeting me horrific shit about him. And I was going, dude, he's fucking hilarious. I love the guy.
Again, the tweet thing, huh?
And that slowly morphed into and then I was like, oh, now I get it. They're mad at him because I found out he said this stuff about it. So that's what that was.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that was. And look, let's get to the core of it, man.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we could go back and forth about I should have done this and I misinterpreted that, or you were busy or whatever. At the core of it, I felt like it got to a point when I saw some of your tweets about Ferguson, and I saw that you had gone on that white nationalist program. I was like, okay, I'm clear. We've reached a point where I so disagree with where Anthony's coming from with this stuff that it would be tough for us to even maintain a friendship. I'm just gonna slide back from it, and that's the end of it. And I was like, what good? Let's say we did talk on the phone. What was it gonna do?
Well, maybe not on the phone, but yeah, going
you know
out
what I mean?
or something would have been a good idea. But
what would have been a good idea?
Going out for a beer, like you said, like that, not a phone call or anything like that. Hanging out and you. I mean, we have been hanging out for a while, and like you said, we've kept it light. But was there ever an Do you think I'm a Nazi? Do you think I'm a Nazi or an anti-Semite or truly a racist that doesn't want to be around black people? Do you honestly believe that?
And I never, ever, ever in a million years did believe it. But when I saw, when it got to, and this is what I said on Rogan yesterday, when it got to the point of you going on that show and then tweeting the stuff you tweeted about Ferguson, I was just like, what the fuck is Anthony doing? It was beyond anything I had ever heard you say, dude. It was beyond it.
I don't think anything I tweeted about Ferguson, by the way, was so far out there. I was tweeting an opinion on a case that hadn't even been investigated yet when they had already convicted the police officer. So I was just talking about that. I talked about the horrid behavior of some of the protesters. And then I talked about how bad, most of what I talked about was how fucked the media was for putting the circus on and playing everybody like puppets. That was my biggest argument about it. I don't think I was saying anything like, let's get the water hoses and fucking German Shepherds down in Ferguson. I wasn't saying anything like that. If you've noticed over the years, whenever I've talked about racial subject matter, it's usually with a very calculated, logical, passionate, but backed up with statistics and whatnot. I don't just go off on racist tirades about let's start getting nooses and shit like that. I just don't do that. Whenever I do tweet anger and words like animal and savage, it's because I'm seeing animalistic or savage behavior. And when I tweeted about that girl in Times Square that hit me, it's because she fucking hit me, Joe. That's why I was that angry about it, and that's why I used the language I did. She was acting like a fucking uncaged animal, and that's what I called her, regardless of her fucking race. But people like you and Kindler and a bunch of other liberals just see more color than I ever do and say, well, she's black, he's white, he used the word animal, racist, and then it goes all over Gawker and the other shit sites, and then people like you and Kindler and the other liberal assholes pick it up, and I'm the fucking douchebag without one personal call or anything to let me explain my side.
Ed, if you're gonna ask me to have more of an open mind as to assume you're racist, have the equal open mind with me. Liberal, come on, dude, come on, man. You're gonna call me a liberal asshole now?
When have I ever not taken the un-PC stance on something? When have I ever not spoken my mind and held to my opinion? Here's what's killing me about this, dude. Okay, let me respond to two things you just said. Number one, had you said, and Dino Hughley said the same fucking thing on the radio. Had you said her, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. You didn't say her. You said they. You said that community. And once this goes to that and this person turns into them, now you're speaking in massive generalities. And that's when it starts to sound racist. No, you know what?
Okay?
Why? Okay, let me answer that because I know the context I wrote that in. When I say they, it doesn't go from her to everybody. They is more than her. It's not everybody, but it's everybody that jumps to fucking violence, which there is a propensity of in the black community. I've talked about how community leaders, religious leaders, politicians have talked about. There's been rallies about violence in the community. We have to silence the violence. That's the they I was talking about. People that instantly jump to violence because your shoe is stepped on the subway or someone's taken a picture of you. That's the they. The they didn't include a fucking Wall Street executive, African-American that I look at with a family and responsibilities and a job, and I'm going, well, fuck him too. Put him in the they category. I never fucking said or meant that. The context of what I say has been twisted around. It makes me fucking nauseous.
Okay. Listen, if that's your argument, then that's your argument. But when I saw you repeatedly have the opportunity to explain what you even just said now publicly, and your response was just, I didn't say anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. It was like, dude, like that. That's where I start. And when I'm sorry, dude, but listen, I said yesterday that when you went on that fucking tirade on Twitter, that I was like, he's mad, and this is a little nuts to me right now, but he's mad, and I'm just going to step back and see how this plays out.
He's mad because he was assaulted. That's the part they leave out of every fucking story. But okay, continue.
And listen, I said you were assaulted yesterday.
No.
I never said you weren't assaulted.
I know. I just like to bring it up because a lot of people leave it out of their little articles and whatnot.
But my point is like if you're the way it came across, if you're driving, okay, let's change it to like a thing. Let's say you're driving and
This better not be
the
like
scenario-
that pizza. This better not be like that pizza parlor analogy.
I love the pizza parlor analogy. I thought it was a
hated
good
it.
analogy.
Oh my god, I hated it. All right,
Why?
and because it stunk. Anyway, okay, I'm driving.
All right. Anyway, let's say you were driving and a Mexican dude blows through a light or cuts you off or whatever and almost causes you to get into an accident.
Right.
And you start screaming, "You fucking asshole Mexican."
Yeah.
And whatever. "You fucking Mexican cocksucker," blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, the person in the car with you might go, "All right, he's saying a little crazy shit right now, but Jesus Christ, that was dangerous and he's angry. I'm going to let him slide on the anger factor for a few minutes here. He's behind the wheel, whatever." But if you start screaming, that's the problem with that community, is they fucking do this and they all do that. That's when it starts to get confusing and it starts to sound like, what the fuck does that one dude and his bad action and this one scenario have to do with all those other people?
You're right, but
Okay?
let's say everyone in your town, when you pull into your driveway with your freshly dented car from the Mexican, all of your neighbors have dented cars from Mexicans. Maybe that's why everyone goes, "Fuck, those Mexicans are running into my car all the time."
Yeah, do all of your neighbors and friends have a story about getting slapped by a woman in Times Square?
Absolutely
As
not.
far as I know, you're the only one that has that story.
Absolutely not. You're absolutely right. I am the only one, not the only one that has been assaulted by a person of color. That's for sure not the fact, because I know other people that have been. It's not a huge number. I understand that, which is why I still go out and why people go out. If it was a crazy number, everyone was staying in their house. What I'm saying is, I was pissed off. I was assaulted by this woman. There were 4 or 5 other black guys that had come to the scene who instantly were making threatening remarks to me as far as, "Don't you put your hands on that girl," which, by the way, I wasn't even close to putting my hands on her. And that's when I started with they, because it was this communal thing. All of a sudden, the girl who was smacking me in the fucking head was the victim, regardless. And I deemed, I assumed, and as I still do, that it was based on color, that they were the same color as her, and assumed that I was giving her shit. I don't know. But that's also where they came from. I was talking about the group of people that I encountered that night that were had a propensity toward violence.
And
yeah.
Now here's the thing, and I say this not to. And by the way, I realize I'm a justifying asshole, and I put a disclaimer in front of everything that comes out of my fucking mouth. But it's just the way I talk. Let me ask you this, dude. You explain this to me, because you asked me earlier, "Joe, do you really think I'm a racist? Do you really, really believe this?" And can you explain to me?
Yeah.
Can you explain to me why you're the one that said that stuff on Twitter?
Yeah.
You're the one that went on Red Eye and did what you did. You're the one that went on the white nationalist radio show.
Right.
You're the one that tweeted what you tweeted about Ferguson. You're the one that did those things.
Yeah.
And somehow, I'm the fucking asshole for not going because I didn't call you or handle my thing in an appropriate way. It's like, why is it okay that you did all the things your ethical code told you to do and the way you need to do them, yet when anybody questions it or speaks out against it, they've wronged you, they've scorned you, and they're the fucking asshole?
Well,
as far as I can tell, I just acted with the same vehemence and backbone that you did. It just happened to be a little more directed at you.
Okay.
How am I any more wrong or right or whatever than you were?
Well, I think that's why it's on more of a personal level, but I'll get back to that. Let me get to the initial thing you had asked about. You listed all these things that I was on. I don't have any regrets, or I don't take back anything I say, aside from saying that I did tweet the initial tweets about that girl in anger 5 minutes after, and those were over the top. I understand that. I still feel very passionately about what I did right about certain issues. I said if what I was guilty of was tweeting about how angry I was at an individual, and then in the same Twitter thread put social commentary in there, which was very easy to take and mix up and put together and make me look very bad. I understand that was my fault. As far as Red Eye goes, I didn't do anything on Red Eye that I wasn't extremely proud of. I talked about why would I be apologetic? I was so sick every day going into the Opie and Anthony show and listening to recordings of meaningless apologies of people that were just trying to keep their job, that I was then going to be that guy that I didn't mean it. I want to apologize to the black community and those that I've offended. I could never do that and have an ounce of credibility or self-respect left. So what I said on Red Eye, it was all, and what I wrote about Ferguson on Twitter. The reason I can say those things and I shouldn't be crucified for them is because like I said, they're very calculated, very thought out opinions about social situations that are going on today. I don't write, let's get the fire hoses like we did in 1960. I don't write shit like that. I write well-measured opinions on very sensitive topics. And I'm very proud of those too. And the reason you catch shit is because what I'm writing about and talking about is a giant social issue. What you did was jump on one of your friends and start fucking shanking them.
I didn't jump on you.
Well, yeah,
I didn't jump on you.
You kind of did, Joe. Maybe a little bit. A little bit. Yeah.
Look, your impressions still make me laugh. What can I say? I didn't jump. Hold on. There's two things I want to respond to. Okay. First of all, I appreciate your fire hose thing, but if you're going to say my pizza parlor analogy was shit, please stop saying the fire hose thing. We can all agree that there are different levels of and ways of being racist. Racism isn't strictly defined by get out the fire hoses and the nooses.
Nowadays, whatever you say about race, you criticize the president, you're put in the same category of racist as if you did have the pizza or the fire hose.
Well, listen, I don't know if I agree with that, and I think that's also a very different discussion.
It is.
From what we're discussing.
Yeah.
But my point is like I'm allowed to think somebody's racist even though they didn't write "go get fire hoses" on Twitter. Now I say this a lot about situations and forming my opinions, and my opinion on this situation was also formed carefully. Okay, I didn't knee-jerk respond. Okay, if I was one of these, one of the liberal assholes, as you put it, with a blog that shit on you, I would have been shitting on you the day after it happened, Anthony. And I wasn't. And I don't think I shit on you yesterday. I said repeatedly that I thought of you as a friend and that I was sad that I felt that I had lost a friend because we were at such a different place when it came to a subject like this that I was like, I don't think I can hang out with a guy that I disagree with on this topic this much.
Well, all right, go ahead.
The reason, and by the way, dude, I know we disagree right now.
Yeah.
I'm not yelling at you.
No.
I'm speaking passionately. I hope, I honestly want to have a very respectful discussion. I'm just passionate about this.
No, that's the same thing when you were saying earlier about how when we talk about guns, I would start yelling. A lot of it wasn't yelling at you. I yell all the time. One of my biggest things, Jimmy would look over and start laughing because I'm just yelling. He goes, and he'd mouth out. He goes, "What are you yelling about?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And okay, I know fucking Guinea. and you're whatever the fuck you are. And I guess it's two people that talk with their hands and yell a lot.
Okay, thank you. Yes. So yeah, when I say I form my opinion carefully, what I'm trying to say is any one of these things isolated, and maybe I didn't do a great job of conveying this yesterday, but any one of these things isolated, I would have went, man, that's fucking unfortunate, but quite frankly, my breaking point was when I saw a tweet from you that said, I'm paraphrasing, and I don't know if it was just a tweet you wrote or you were responding to somebody.
Yeah.
But you had written, when you break, and it was about the Ferguson kid, when you break the law, you take your life into your own hands. And you responded with a picture of black gang members. It's like, dude, it just, where there's smoke, there's fire, and there was so much fucking smoke.
Hear you, but again, the fucking black gang members. Now, if I really wanted to piss people off, I'd have put a picture of fucking Michael Brown on the tweet. But I put gang members that obviously were not the best people in society as that picture. The other tweet about when you break the law, you take the life in your hands. I'm talking about everybody, and I'm talking about the snowball cascading reaction that can happen with something as simple as shoplifting. The second you decide to break the law, it could end in you or someone else being dead. It's just the nature of crime and how people feel about it. I wasn't saying that if you steal something, you should be shot and killed. I was saying that if you decide to steal something, you better think about the future consequences. And by the future, I mean a couple of seconds, minutes, hours, a week, whatever it is. When you decide to do that, you are literally, you could be taking your life into your hands. That was my point. It's very hard in 140 characters to really convey everything you want in an idea.
I'll say this. I listen, what you just said is a fair point to me. But when that point is less worded, obviously because of the Twitter thing, okay? And every time, I just felt like, everything you were saying, what I'm trying to get at is I felt like everything you were saying from the time of the Twitter thing, the initial Twitter thing that you got fired for, up through and including the Ferguson stuff, it was all black.
Yeah,
everything kept coming back to black. And I was like, I just don't know how else to look at this. It started to me like you got fired and you were like, I'll fucking show you now. I'll prove my point about these people.
You know what?
And the campaign was that.
I do believe there is that type of resentment that goes into when you lose your job because you feel you were unjustly made the perpetrator of something, which is exactly what happened to me. I was a victim of an assault on the street, and how it turned out was I got fired for voicing my displeasure with being smacked by this bitch in the face. So when you say that, you're right. There is a certain amount of resentment that comes into play when you lose your job because of a societal fucking bullshit PC cloud that we're all under, that we now have to walk on eggshells and we're fucked with. Yeah, there is a certain amount of resentment toward that. And I was picking out various examples that I could put down of violence that is being perpetrated at a disproportionate number. Yes, I did. But again, I would point these out with statistics and in a very even tempered way. If you didn't like it, like I didn't know I had a 3 strikes rule with Joe Derosa that a couple of things were okay, but I passed the line of being able to be your friend anymore. And your line about how can I go to my black friends and say that I still, have any contact with him it was terrible. Who the fuck gives a shit what any of your friends, white, black, Chinese, or whatever, have to say about who you hang out with or who you even talk to about an issue you have with them?
Yeah, you're going to tell me.
Yeah.
You're going to tell who gives a shit? Clearly everybody, Anthony. I spoke out against you, and I'm getting fucking hell from people about it. So clearly people take into account how other people are going to feel about what they say about them or the company they keep. You obviously, and I didn't.
You're talking Twitter people.
When I said that,
yeah.
Hold on a second. It's not just Twitter people. And when I said that, I didn't say, oh, God, I would hang out with Anthony, but it's just I'm so darn scared about what my boyfriends might think. I didn't say that. What I said was, when you have to honestly ask yourself, is this a problem with my black friends if I hang out with this dude? Maybe there's some actual racism happening at that point.
Maybe there's some irrational thought on your part to even think that are my black friends going to have a problem with me talking? You tell them to go fuck themselves, or you tell me to my face, like, to go fuck myself or something. It's the way it was handled, Joe. It's just the way it was handled. It came off as kind of cheap and unfriend-like is all. That's what I think. Nah.
Well, you're absolutely entitled to that opinion for obvious reasons that I don't need to state. I don't have a legion of people behind me that are now going to call you a cunt and a traitor every seven fucking seconds.
I get enough shit, bro. Believe me, I get enough shit on Twitter.
I just think it's hilarious that you spoke your mind about a situation and got shit for it, and then I spoke mine about a situation and got shit for it, but I'm somehow getting shit from the people that supported you for how you shouldn't have gotten shit for your situation.
Maybe they saw I had more justification in what I was saying than you did in saying what you said.
Maybe they did. I don't know, but I would say this, Ant, and I mean this, dude. I think, look. Again, I'm going to recognize the more shit that I'm going to now get for saying this, but I say this to you, dude, as somebody that honestly gives a shit about your well-being.
Yeah.
I don't think this road is a good road. And to me, when I saw the Ferguson thing, I was like, you know what? You know what I would have thought Anthony would have said? The guy that I knew would have said, hey, this is why I'm a supporter of gun rights. So when some fucked up crooked cop shoots at you, you can defend yourself if you have to.
Yikes.
That's the Anthony Cumia that I knew.
Maybe on that planet that when Kirk beamed aboard and the transporter was bad and he beamed aboard the bad Enterprise with the Spock with the goatee, maybe that Anthony might have said it. But me, on the other hand, until I found out it was a crooked cop, the more evidence that came in, the more it looked like this cop was beaten in some way, shape, or form. And the guy was more thug than this high school graduate prince of the city there. And the more that came out, the more it looked like just another one of these assaults that happen. You instantly say crooked cop that shoots him. It just seems, why jump to that conclusion?
Because he was shot in the back. Witnesses have come up and said the kid's hands were up in the air.
He wasn't shot in the back. Do you know every coroner? There were 3 coroners that did 3 separate autopsies on him, and none of them have said he was shot in the back. They were all front shots and then one to the top of his head. That was it. None in the back. It also indicated that he didn't have his hands up. These are all the facts that are coming in that I was talking about.
News reports 2 days ago said witnesses came forth 2 days ago and said his hands were in the air.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm reading shitty news feeds, I don't know. But my point is that was in the news.
Witnesses to that crime in that neighborhood may be embellishing things. I don't know. But when you put it together, all the witnesses with all the forensics that the grand grand jury is going to come up with in a few more weeks, then we can make a more educated guess as to what happened in that parking lot, but on that road. Until then, I don't see a crooked cop. What I see is a guy that intimidated, at the very least, a store owner to get away with taking stuff for free. And 15 minutes later, he was lying in the street dead. And that's the facts we have. So when I write about Ferguson, it's not from a place of hate and racism and this and that and the other thing. I am basing it like I did with the Trayvon Martin thing and everything, which I caught shit for, and called it 100% accurate as far as the trial went. And if you look at even the white guy there, Pistorius, I called this fucking thing 6 months ago that they didn't accuse him of convict him of murder charges. So I really do take a lot more time than a lot of people think looking into these cases and getting the facts. And when I say them, they are contrary to a lot of what the liberal media puts out there. So I'm looked at as the liar. It's insane. But I go off. But I go off.
Listen, in the interest of not digressing into a Ferguson discussion.
Yeah.
And I'll just say this, like, and as much as you're saying to me right now, Joe, I felt you handled it shitty after all the stuff we've been through. And after all the shit we've been through, can you think maybe for a minute that maybe you did some stuff that caused me to act in a way that I have never acted with you ever?
I
sat in studio with you. I sat in studio with you through the George whatever the fuck his name, Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin debates.
Yeah.
I sat with you in studio while you gave your hard opinions on race, on guns, on whatever.
Yeah.
Did I ever once take an opportunity to run and throw you under some fucking bus?
No, because that would have been very silly to do, because it was us talking about a subject on the radio. Why would you throw me under the bus personally for something that I was doing on the show? That would have been silly.
I'm saying if my motives were impure, I could have done this a long time ago.
I'm not.
It's my point.
Right. I don't. And I'm saying I don't think you meant to say, let me fucking throw Anthony under the bus. I just think the way you handled your distancing yourself from me came off a little pissy is all. That's all.
Okay. And what I'm asking you is, can you find it anywhere in yourself right now to say, if Joe oddly distanced himself from me in this pissy way that doesn't align with the friendship we've had and the behaviors that he's exhibited over the last 6 years or whatever it's been, maybe a little of this is me and my behavior and freaking him out a little bit.
I can understand you being freaked out. Again, especially from the initial tweets that I put out about that bitch in Times Square. But after that, I don't think anything I've said or tweeted about race relations in this country has been any off kilter of what I've been saying on the air for years about a very sensitive issue is all. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why all of a sudden it all added up in your head to being this. I don't know.
You don't think any of the stuff, you don't think going on a white nationalist radio show was just a tick further down the road than anything you had ever expressed on the air before?
Joe, I could see you going like, wow, what the fuck is he doing? But I would have loved a call or text going, wow, what the fuck are you doing? Instead of just assuming that I was like, cool, I'm on this show. Like I said, Keith was doing my bookings. I didn't even know. There was a list of 20 podcasts that I was doing that I would just call up and be on. I had no idea what most of their subject was. In the 6 or 4 weeks that I had to get this fucking show up and running, I wanted to get my name out there as much as possible. So the diligence in researching some of these shows probably took a back seat to me just wanting the Anthony Cumia show being out there on the digital airwaves. Was that a mistake? Apparently, with quite a few people, it was. But again, I could have cleared that up with you in seconds. You know, I think you're a reasonable guy.
it was the tough thing for me to, because I as of today, before you just said that, for the first time heard the explanation of like, well, he didn't know what kind of show it was.
Yeah.
And my gut reaction to that was, or my knee-jerk reaction to that was, yeah, but Anthony is so well read, and the support to justify everything else he's done has been, he's well read. Here are statistics. He's a guy that researches the argument. Yet, when here's this thing where you can kind of get nailed to the cross on it, all of a sudden it's like, well, he didn't know.
No, it's not.
You know what I mean?
It's not. I didn't know. I knew they were a far right show, but I didn't know about a white nationalist show. I honestly was making calls to podcasts outside, one after another. Just fucking. It was just another fucking podcast. But that again, no excuse. I'm not sitting here trying to excuse it. I was on it. I spoke my piece about subject matter that they seem to enjoy, and what have you. But you've known me longer than to know that I'm fucking the next Hitler. I don't think you think I'm starting a National Socialist movement or anything.
I would hope not. I would hope not.
You would hope not. See.
I'll say that. I'll say this. As much as I disagree with the stuff you've said and the stance or approach you've taken with it, if it was more appropriate somehow for me to, and I'm saying this without fully understanding it.
Okay.
But if in some way it was somehow the right thing for me to do, or the ethical thing for me to do, to call you and come at you head on about, I don't like the shit you're saying, I don't think I can hang out with you anymore, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And if that's what I truly should have done in the greater cosmic law of things, then I should have done that, and I didn't realize it.
Well, I don't think you should have come at me and said, like, I can't hang out with you. I think calling or something and saying, hey, dude, I heard this and that, and I heard you said this. What's the deal? I would have been like, oh, fuck, yeah. And I would have explained to you what that was, and I think you might have come away with a different outlook on the whole thing. But, Joe Rogan. It's Joe Rogan's show. That's fine.
Say what?
But then, going on Joe Rogan's show instead and voicing it there,
Well, the only reason I voiced it on Joe Rogan's show was because we started discussing it, and, and then you're having an honest discussion, and one thing leads to another, and it all comes out in the fucking wash. As I said, there was no, when I left there yesterday, there was no part of me that was like, oh, I just aired my dirty personal laundry with Anthony.
Yeah.
I felt like, honestly, you would have heard it and been, and again, maybe I'm thinking of you on the fucking Kirk planet or whatever. I thought you would have heard it and been like, hey, what are you going to do? Rosa didn't agree with me. All right, I get it. This is how I feel. He doesn't agree, and all right, that's it, man.
I rarely do that. I was saying the other day, I don't have any friends that I've stopped being friends with for reasons of non-agreement or shit like that. It's usually, I moved or I left a job, or that's how I've like ended friendships. There's only been one, Danny Ross, that ended because, someone turned into a fucking asshole. And depending on who you ask, it's the other one. But that's fair enough. But I don't do things like that. I don't just go, fuck it. Joe doesn't agree with me. Fuck it. I would have wanted to talk it out and stuff. And, if we can wrap it up, because Bailey J is here and she's going to rip ass hair out of Jon Stewart's ass. We actually have that happening on the show today.
Jon Stewart, the Daily Show, Jon Stewart?
No, some Irish guy, Jon Stewart. That.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
Fair enough. But if you're open to it, Joe, and you're in New York, I would like to have you come on the show, or at least we go out and grab a beer and have a couple of drinks and then duke it out like Irish brothers.
Look, I would.
If
I
your
would
black
like
friends say it's okay.
I would like to continue the discussion with you because I think we both probably have more to say, and I would like to continue the discussion, honestly.
Is that a date? I think we have a date. It's like fucking the love connection over here.
Yeah, it's a date.
Maybe we could go have some of that pizza at that pizza parlor, that imaginary pizza parlor you talked about.
It was a great analogy. I stand by it.
It stunk. All right,
Stand
Joe.
with the pizza parlor analogy.
Oh, I hate it. Joe, thanks though for calling and getting the dialogue started and shit like that. And honestly, not just as a fucking bullshit thing. We could all just lay back on Joe until me and Joe get together and talk a little more, and then maybe I'll come back on and say he was an asshole and we should destroy him. But in the meantime, let's just all fucking back off a little bit. You know.
I appreciate you having me on and having a calm and honest debate about this. I really do.
Yeah, no problem. You got any plugs? You got any plugs or anything?
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead.
One thing I took away from Opie, that hang up is fucking funny.
And I don't know the details of this at all, but did you have some beef with Anthony Cumia at one point? I don't know if that's what you were circling around to when you were talking about.
You know that we did.
I know. I mean, I don't know. I really, honestly, don't know the details. I honestly don't.
Yeah. We. I mean, we're friends now, but yeah, we got into it. We got into a real heavy thing. And I've said to him several times since, privately and publicly on his show, "Hey, man, my biggest regret was that I didn't air my grievance with you person to person. We were friends, man. And I chose to air my grievance on the Joe Rogan show, which was stupid for a lot of reasons. Not just stupid because of not acting appropriately with a friend. You know what I mean? But it was self-destructive for me. It was like, why would you use this opportunity to get personal about something? Use this opportunity to have a good time and to celebrate this opportunity. This is what I mean. You get caught up in this shit and you start to think, I need to make a move. Something needs to be done. You know, and I've explained to Anthony, again, privately and publicly, like when that went down, I was going through a really, really, really bad time. My aunt had just died. She was like a second mother to me. And I woke up that day and I was getting a bunch of shit online. And I went and I said some shit publicly. And I should have just called him and said, hey, dude, you know, I'm upset about X, Y, and Z. And if I don't have a right to be, then I don't have a right to be. But I'm just letting you know, man. And I didn't do that. It was a mistake.
Excuse me.
Oh, God.
Welcome back. And with us today, for the first time on the program, is a comedian. You can get tickets at joederosa.com and check out his sandwich shop, Joey Roses.
Joey Roses.
Oh,
in New York.
That's your shop?
Yeah.
What?
Give it up for Joe DeRosa, everybody. Let him hear it.
That's cool.
A sandwich shop?
Wait, you said that
because I was reading it. I was like, I thought it was like, check out his podcast, Sandwich Shop. And you know what I mean? So I was like reading it like,
no. I opened with Paul Italia. We opened a sandwich shop in a bar on the Lower East Side called Joey Roses.
That's right.
Okay. I sorry. I should have
really
consulted
fun.
before.
It's fun. It's stressful, but it's fun.
What kind of?
But anyway, you can get JoeyRoses.com.
Are there?
It's like East Coast, like it's kind of based in the Philly stuff I grew up with. Like the hoagie style.
Yeah.
Italian deli, Italian American
Delicious.
Deli. Yeah, people like them. We're lucky. People are enjoying it. So it was a pandemic venture and still going. So hey, all right.
Well, when I go to New York, I got to check it out.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Please
I
come
feel
through.
out of the loop.
It's okay. It's not like, the hot goss.
Hey man.
What kind of Arab are you?
I'm not positive because I'm adopted, but according to the DNA test I took, mostly Egyptian.
Ah, so that's why the Derosa.
Yeah.
You were adopted by Italian family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I always thought you were Italian. I would never guess Egyptian.
I honestly, in this age of identifying, I identify as Italian.
Oh, good.
That's how I was raised. That's what I understand and relate to the most.
But have you? It's interesting because one of my favorite shows is what's that show that I like? No, help me out. It's on TLC. It's called Long Lost Family. Long Lost Family. Long Lost Family. And it's about adoptive people finding their. You ever want to?
No.
Well, the adoption.
It's the last time I'll bring up the adoption.
I don't care. It's funny.
All right.
Tense. Yeah. I'm anxious.
Yeah.
You know, but usually I'm able to navigate it a lot better than I used to be.
We're getting older.
You get older, you get better at not taking things personally.
Yeah.
You get better at saying, I don't want that part of me to come out anymore. You know, unless absolutely necessary, which it rarely is. And it was just a lot of that. It also too has a lot to do with self-worth and not letting things define your worth. I'm kind of on a kick where I keep talking about this, but the second during the lockdown, the second I realized I wasn't valued because of comedy, I was just a person doing comedy amongst other things. That was
big.
a big moment for me.
That's
and it was
big.
hard because it was 2 to 3 months first of utter anger and fury and depression that I had moved back to New York to do comedy, and then comedy was gone. And at that point, we didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
You know, like it was like, and it was woe is me and my life sucks. And I moved back for all this. And then when I realized, no, idiot, you moved back because you like to live in New York. Comedy's part of it, but that's only part of it. And then all of a sudden everything changed.
Wow.
And
Good
that
for
was
you.
it.
Because a lot of people went the other way. They went angrier and the world's against me and fuck you, I'll kill you. And you went, hey, life is okay. I'm not defined by this.
You're on the rise up?
Yeah, one day maybe I'd be there.
What happened to Bill shake you off his leg at one point?
No, I'm kidding.
But you at the Garden, I think it was 2016, you and Verzi.
Yeah.
But there was a funny thing that happened.
What's that?
No, during
Right.
there was a section of the Garden that didn't have the audio on or something.
I remember that.
There was something weird happened.
Yes.
Where like whatever section was in, the speakers weren't turned on,
remember
and they
that.
couldn't hear anything. So then they were screaming out, going, "We can't hear anything."
I remember that.
And then you had this you go, "Will you guys stop fucking heckling me?"
Yeah.
You go, "This is my fucking dream. I'm playing the Garden." And he's shouting at them, and they're like, "We pay so much money." You go, "Fuck you." It was a fucking.
I didn't know what they were saying.
No, because you obviously you can't hear them. They're up in the fucking.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? That outburst to them, because it happened within like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That outburst to them was what let me kill.
Yeah.
Because I was like, because the crowd cheered when I did that, and I was like, oh, I'm working a fucking club. I get it. Because, dude, I swear to God, I was so scared before I went on stage. I was pacing in the green room. Burr yelled at me.
What, he said, tone the fuck down?
Yeah, because he was like, it's bad energy. Like, stop it. Like, because I was so fucking scared. Because I was on the streak where I was bombing.
Yeah.
When I was doing sets, I just wasn't. You know when you get in that place where you hate all your material,
of course,
and you don't have the charge, and like, you can't. I just was there, and I went to Long Island City the night before, and I did a set at the Standing Room,
the old Stand,
which was the Stand's other club they used to have. Dude, I bombed so bad at that fucking thing.
Well, the Standing Room was the widest room of all time.
Yeah.
You could nearly from the stage touch the back wall, so it was pretty much you're doing it to two sections of the room.
It was tiny.
Yeah.
And I bombed so bad, and I swear to God, dude, I almost called Bill and said, I can't do the show tomorrow night because I'm gonna bomb. And I got up the next day. I was pep talking myself. I was so fucking scared, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking bomb. And I remember before the show, I was like, okay, and I did like a bunch of push-ups in my room because at the time I was strong enough to do push-ups. And I just did all these push-ups, and I was in this really nice hotel that they put me in, but it was like kind of far from the venue.
Because you were living out in LA at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did all these push-ups, and I was like, here's the plan. All these push-ups. I'm going to get showered. I'm going to walk to the venue.
Okay.
It was cold, too. It was like November or something. I'm going to walk to the venue, even though it's cold, and get all that air. I'm going to leave an hour. I'm going to leave 2 hours before I need to be there because I'm going to stop on the way, and I'm going to have like a fucking king's dinner at a steakhouse.
Nice.
And I did exactly that. I did like 50 push-ups. I showered. I walked. I stopped at the steakhouse. I sat at the bar. I ate a lobster fucking dinner.
Ooh.
and I went to the venue, and I was still scared shitless, but I was like, I did everything fucking right to feel like a champ right now. If I bomb, it's meant for me to bomb.
Yeah.
And then I went on stage. I was so fucking nervous, and those people started yelling. And when I don't feel right, that's like when my real shitty comes out, like my bitchiness, like that comes out particularly like if I'm not feeling good. And I was nervous, and those people were yelling, and I thought they were just being drunks. And then so I was like, can you shut the fuck up, please?
Yeah.
And like
they were like, please, we love you, Joe. We just got to hear your brilliant jokes.
I felt bad. They messaged me the next day.
We're going to leave as soon as you're finished. Please, Joe. And you're going, you fucking motherfucker.
They messaged me the next day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I felt bad.
Well, it's not your fucking fault.
No.
Like, how does that happen with the
But that was one of the great nights of my life.
Yeah.
That night.
Did
Yeah,
you
I
do
remember
it
I hooked up.
twice,
I remember I
or
had
no?
a huge crush on this girl for years, and I hooked up with her that night. I had a lot of heat on me this week on TikTok. My web guy put up a clip from 2012 of me making fun of nurses, and it fucking cracked open. That bit has been posted so many times online, including during the pandemic. A couple people bitched. Most people thought it was funny. Whatever the fuck it was this week, last week when this thing went up, it caught fire, dude. They're review bombing Joey Rose's, my bar. They're leaving fake 1-star reviews and shit. It's fucked up. So
now are you sure those aren't O&A fans?
No, I'm good with the O&A fans. Yeah. So by the way, if you feel like leaving a 5-star review at Joey Rose's, I'd appreciate it to counteract these angry fucking troll nurses.
What are they saying in the anger? They're just going, fuck you. Yeah. Nobody's got
in the reviews?
What they're doing the quote videos or whatever.
Oh, dude, so it started with hate comments, then it turned into hate messaging, DMs or whatever. Then they started doing reaction videos to the fucking thing. They started doing reaction where they're watching it and giving me the fucking finger as they're watching it. That starts going around TikTok. People started texting me going, dude, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
This video is getting pet. Emily, who runs the social media stuff for We'll See You in Hell, and she's great. She texted me. She goes, dude, there's a video of you going around TikTok, and not in a good way.
Right.
Like, you might want to look into this.
In more of an Andrew Tate way.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do.
What exactly do you say in the bit?
And I have a question. I know it's a broad question. I know it doesn't apply to everybody, but it's a valid question. I'd like to ask it. Where did the concept of hot nurses come from? Who made up that fairy tale horseshit thing that I can't seem to find at any hospital I've ever been to? Never seen it. Never seen it once. Seen it in porno movies for years. Some chick's got the white hat on.
So then that one got a lot of like, fuck you, I'm not here to be hot. How dare you sexualize a profession or whatever. But I didn't. It's a part of a bit where I go, it's like the hot cop fantasy. Right. It's like which also got released as a clip and got no bad feedback, where I say, I've seen a lot of female cops. You know what they look like? Male cops. That got nothing.
Yeah.
That got nothing.
Well, you're a white.
The cops were nicer to me than the nurses were.
Yeah, because the cops actually have a real job.
Yeah.
So I'm just joking, nurses. Jesus Christ. Can anyone take a fucking joke anymore?
Wait, the joke that set everybody off, though.
Yeah.
The one that set everybody off. Now, here's another thing about nurses. They don't really know shit, and that's why you die.
That's true. You ever wonder, why do people die at the hospital? It's the nurses. And I know some of you are thinking, but Joe, there's a lot of good nurses out there. Yeah, but it only takes one bad one, and you're f***ing dead.
I go, the problem is the specialist, the doctor says, come on in, we need to do some stuff. And then you go in, and he works on you for maybe 2 hours, and then he leaves you with nurses the rest of the time. And I go, that's like taking your car to the shop and say to the mechanic, hey, my car's broken. Work on it for an hour or two, and then let the receptionist fuck around with it for a week. And, dude, they went sideways, dude. I'm like,
smoke, man. Like, and it was a lot of how dare you after this pandemic, what we've been through.
Oh God!
And people think that you shot this yesterday.
You're like, dude, you guys are perpetuating global evil.
You know what the CIA has done for me is it has made me very wary of drones. Oh no.
What do you mean?
You ever see a drone in like
get in here?
You ever see a drone like just out and about and you're like, is that looking at me?
Oh,
You ever see that now?
They probably never stopped with them.
I've seen a drone out and about. And I think it's Ari Shafir.
I love it. Great
You
start.
fucking drunk, dude. Nice sandwiches, you drunk piece of shit. No.
You could have got a sandwich while you're up there.
Oh, you guys are. This is great. I've been watching this.
Yeah,
It's been fun. Seriously, it's been fun. I've been
But
enjoying
for
it.
real, why wouldn't you help? We want some sandwiches.
You think you need?
I knew that was coming.
You think you need another sandwich, dude?
You want to talk body types? I'll destroy you in front of your lady right now. You want me to eviscerate you? in front of your woman?
Gross off.
Gross off.
No.
It stopped at. Why don't you just come in during the normal hours? I don't understand why it's
I-
so hard for
I-
you to play by the rules.
I didn't know when the
No one
hours.
comes to the comedy club at 4 p.m.
No, it's not. You're not coming for comedy. You're coming to the comedy club for a sandwich. It's a different
That's not
thing.
What is this sandwich thing? What is happening?
Yeah.
He
Are you a
don't-
big
he
sandwich
doesn't-
guy?
He stopped doing stand up, but now he does
No,
sandwiches.
No, I still do
seen your
stand up.
cooking thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you stopped.
Huh?
You told me you stopped.
I did stop.
What the fuck?
This guy bumped me last week.
Did he?
Swear to God.
Right back to comedy.
Did you really? You bumped Francis? You came back just to bump
Yeah, he was
Francis?
working the line at Subway. I said, "Get out of my way, buddy. I'm here making salami sandwiches now."
Are you going to Jared? Are you going to Jared for your thing?
Okay.
Do you hire multinational?
I drop in at Quiznos now.
Dude, you're hammered.
Huh? When was the last time I did the show was with you when DMC came on.
Yeah, he had to call me today about his money.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know, Bobby didn't pay me till today.
Yeah, but
From those
when
two
somebody
episodes.
fills in for somebody, we pay that person. You know, hey, here you go. And it was what, a week ago.
No.
He's been on me like the
About 2
fucking
weeks.
with Vig. It was like this much plus 1 cent. Who does that?
I didn't total everything up. Christine did.
But what's up with the 1 cent?
I don't know, but
It was
I like
part
that
of the
it
total.
bothered you.
I didn't.
Christine, what's with the 1 cent?
For what, the 1
Do
cent?
you know how math works, Bob?
Yeah, I'm not paying the 1 cent.
All
I
right,
go
great,
down.
Great. I called Bobby at 10 a.m. and he goes, yeah, because he just knew something was up.
No, because whenever Joe calls you before noon, it's bad. It's not a good conversation.
You go, yeah, and I go, yeah, what's up? And you go, what do you need, dude? And I go, well, I don't know. I see on my calendar I'm on my way to the Village Underground tonight to do your show yet another fucking favor, and I still haven't gotten my money. And he hung up on me, and I swear to God, the second it hung up, my phone went, you have money from Venmo, from Robert Kelly.
Fucking piece of shit. I mean, what an asshole.
Far too many entertainers believe their own hype and are not able to grow and blossom because of it. It doesn't become about developing the craft and the art anymore. It becomes about staying relevant.
I agree.
And that's a bad place to be, in my opinion.
But it's self-hype.
Well, it's self-hype.
They believe their own hype.
Yeah, exactly.
Not an argument.
No, I know. Yeah,
But you're the guy that hypes. You're under the radar. Like you're dormant as far as hype.
Yeah.
So for you to be conscious and aware of, I don't want to believe my own hype and get like a big ego. You hold on.
Sure.
You know, in your cellular level, Joe Derosa, you don't have that in you.
But here's the thing. When I say hype, I don't just mean the people that get praised by the masses or whatever.
Well, that's never going to happen.
Comedians, no, it probably won't. Comedians, particularly, entertainers again in general. I love you too. Entertainers in general, and the only reason I'm barreling through that is because not because I think it's funny. Is I'm afraid I'm going to forget this, and then you're going to ask me again, and then no, please. Entertainers in general have that internal hype going before anybody ever says you're good. I've heard people have said this to me.
Joe, my fans are out there. They just don't know it yet. This is how delusional entertainers get. It's sick. So it's like you can't ever go down that road. You got to be able to say to yourself, dude, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. It's not that important. Take a breath. And when you have something that you really want to share with people, you share it. You know what I mean?
Joe Derosa has been making the podcast rounds lately in anticipation of his new special coming out in August of this year. His appearance in the TV show Better Call Saul has expanded his career opportunities. He has a podcast called Taste Buds with Sal Volcano of Impractical Jokers. You can catch it on the No Fresh Network YouTube channel. He also has a music group called Salsa Windfall with Paul Chell. Joey Roses is still in business in New York. The future is looking bright for Joe, and his style of comedy has been more recently described as akin to Lewis Black. The once shoulderless and anxiety-riddled man has become more confident in his own skin and seems to be able to genuinely enjoy life. As one grows up in the world, overcoming the fear of missing out is a sign of maturity. Joe has overcome this, and people might fear they will miss out on him